two-time WWE Hall of Famer, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Tito Santana.
This is Kurt Angle.
This is Bret the Hitman Hart, and this is going out to Scott and Holly.
You are listening to the
Win Twice Wrestling Podcast
With Scott and Holly.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And this ho's for everybody. Ho!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to listen to the incomparable Win Twice Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Holly. We always go over, brother, and that's the bottom line. Dig it? So, sit back, relax, and prepare to be entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 57 of the Win Twice Wrestling Podcast, and I brought a lot of energy for that intro, and Holly, your eyes nearly left your skull because we were talking before we started recording, and I said I was feeling a bit low energy today.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not feeling it, I just need to make sure I'm conveying myself in a bit more of an engaging manner.
Fake it till you make it.
Pretty much, because if I'm sat here just going, and then he did a whip into the corn, I don't feel like,
There might be some ASMR in there though.
oh, and then just a little...
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what that's going to sound like, to be fair, so we'll find out
knows?
later on. But, oh well, if this doesn't work out, there's other options there. Put your
Apparently
feet
so.
online, bit of ASMR whispering about wrestling moves, so there's options there for us. But we are, I was about to say we're back on a certain march, but I'm getting ahead of myself because of what we were just talking about.
I see.
We're not marching anywhere just yet,
No.
that's for next week. But we are, well actually it was your choice this one.
It was my choice.
And because I'm usually the one that's kind of covering off the early part of the introduction, as it's one that
Sure.
you specifically picked out, why don't you do it?
So, I picked this mainly because I was intrigued, I'll be
Okay.
honest. Considering we've watched some of the older versions, I wanted to see what the new one would be like.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, there's a certain man that is on this show that I really wanted to see.
Kevin Owens.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
An older gentleman.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Triple H.
No.
No.
But no.
I don't think he was on it,
He's
actually.
not.
Now I said that. No, okay. Who's older? Michael Cole.
Older.
Older. Charles Robinson.
Older.
Oh, wow.
Voice is breaking.
Older, you slag. I can't imagine who it could be. But what's
No.
the show, Holly, you picked?
Saturday night's main event.
And is that the one that was from December of last year?
I can confirm December 14th, 2024.
Very nice. So, yeah, I mean, was it purely down to this one person being there that you wanted to...
No, I mean, as I said, I was intrigued. I kind of wanted to see what it was like.
Yeah.
See how well it performed in my visuals.
I will say, I don't know if I wasn't overly thrilled, but I wasn't, like, hesitant to watch this one either, because it's as good of a show to pick as anything else. I think I was pleasantly surprised. So to put the cart before the horse a little bit, and to give a little bit of a spoiler, I'll say it's an easy watch.
Such an easy watch.
Very easy watch. I mean, it like clocked in at, was it 1 hour 45, but it also, because of the way it's stored, so this wasn't one that was available on Netflix, but it was streamed on the WWE Vault YouTube channel. And what they do is when they go to their commercial breaks, they basically just have like a pause screen on. So there was there must have been about 12 of them at least, and each one of them were 2 to 3 minutes. So the show itself was probably closer to about 1 hour and 20.
Yeah.
But it had a good flow to it, and because I wasn't actually watching the commercials and I got to skip them, I wasn't fussed by it. But I know that the level of commercials and the frequency of them bugged a lot of people when they were watching it live.
Imagine.
And it's always been one of those things for me where I struggle if it goes to a commercial break partway through a match.
Yes.
But it's difficult as well, because if the match is going to go a certain length of time, there's
Got no
little choice.
Yeah.
But and they always have the same, and you can tell when you've probably been in, a WWE live event where you notice a lull in the action if it's for a TV taping, and you realise it's because that's the bit where they're away for commercials. So it'll be like rest hold. They'll do a few odd bits and pieces, but it's kind of
Nothing
like,
major's going to happen.
which I find difficult, which is why sometimes house shows are better. Because at no point are they thinking about the queue time for what they need to do. Well, so to speak, obviously there's still a time constraint in general for the show. But they don't just suddenly go, oh, okay, we have to take the action down a bit. Because as a viewer, to me, that makes me go, like, flicks a switch in my head and I go, okay, I'm tuned out, until I start to think they're back, then I'll kind of re-engage, which is kind of, it's a difficult one. And I will say, there was a theme throughout this show.
Oh, okay.
And that theme is nostalgia.
Ah, yes.
So I've got a couple of points on that later on.
Okay.
But as you said, this recording was done on the 14th of December 2024. Again, WWE Saturday Night's main event. So we're no longer going to be going in chronological order. And spoiler alert, if we do go for any future Saturday Night main events, which we will, I'm sure, we're going to be limited to what's available on the Vault, and because there's none of them on Netflix, so none of them have made the transition. I'm sure at some point they will reappear somewhere, but for now, we can only play the cards that we've been dealt. But the venue was the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York, and the attendance was 14,186. Does that venue ring any bells to you?
Should it?
Yeah.
Is it where the first ever one was?
It certainly was.
Oh.
Yep. So different layout as well, obviously, because from what I remember, Vince McMahon and Jesse were side on to the ring, whereas a lot of it was taking place kind of near the entryway. So the layout was obviously a little bit different. I wouldn't have known unless they necessarily said where it was, that it was the original venue, because I feel like a lot of they don't have the character that they used to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There are a few venues you look at and you can still go, oh, that's like, so for me, Madison Square Garden, I just know that event, like that venue, from looking at the shows, because it always has a similar look to it. But a lot of the other arenas that they use feel like it's just been lifted up.
It's all a bit generic.
It is, and planted into a new, so that it doesn't have the character that it used to back in the day. And weird, I miss the gritty feel.
Okay.
So we've been watching, obviously, the early Saturday Night's main event,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit of a rough edge, shall we say, that hasn't been buffered out. Whereas now we're getting very sanitised, very polished, high production quality, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not good, but I kind of miss a bit of the grit and the grunge.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't think I would, but I kind of do. Like I expect it with the.
Not.
No, I know you don't, but like I kind of expect it with. It feels like part and parcel of Saturday Night's main event to me. Whereas if I'm looking at a modern day Raw, modern day pay per view, I'm aware that's what it's going to look like, and that's what I expect. But my expectations in my head were for that kind of rougher look. So you've already kind of covered why you picked this show, which is, we'll get into a little bit. I don't think you've actually said the person specifically that you were excited to see. But I do have a question for you to start things off. So what do you think made WWE decide to bring back Saturday Night's main event, and why do you think it was because of us?
Is that what we're leading with here?
Yeah, I think so.
We brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got such a massive audience. We're grateful for everyone that listens, but we're making more waves than I thought, because,
It might just be pure coincidence.
I would be willing to bet it is probably entirely down to pure coincidence, Holly. But all I'm saying is we've covered off some of these Saturday Night's main events in order.
Have you been manifesting?
I'm just saying I've put it out there. I've been putting those vibes into the atmosphere.
Really?
And, here we are materialising a world where Saturday Night's main event has returned. And the last ones before this were about 2009 or something like that, around then. So it's been gone for a while.
Wow.
And okay, let's say that this wasn't us. Fair enough. Okay, they brought it back.
That maybe it's not.
Right. Okay. In this weird world, this wasn't of our making. Fine. I wonder if they're going to bring back any people that we've had feature in this show, albeit briefly.
Right.
Because we can't imagine that we're going to get anyone like, I don't know, let's say Jesse the Body Ventura working on the show or anything like that, having not had anything really to do with wrestling whatsoever, and then maybe someone sends them a cameo to ask them about their old wrestling days, how they were doing a match against Hulk Hogan, and how he would certainly kick Hulk Hogan's ass. And they're on fairly recent shows as well, so Hulk came back for a Raw. I'm just saying, WrestleMania 41.
Oh my God, stop it. Could you imagine?
I'm telling you, it won't happen. If there's a Hulk Hogan against Jesse the Body Ventura in any way, shape or form, I'm claiming that, okay? Right? Again, completely inflated ego.
It's not something I'd want to see.
I don't want to see it. Maybe have them in the corner of someone.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so we've got Jesse Ventura in the corner of Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Because they can both do the voice. Well, it's Jesse's voice, to be fair. Who would Hulk Hogan be in the corner of? I feel like he would be in the corner of someone like an LA Knight.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm interested.
Yeah, LA Knight against
Yeah.
Karrion Kross, exactly. And Jesse would obviously be doing the heel stuff.
Of course.
Hogan would be doing the,
You're getting
trying
booed, but-
to do the face stuff, but getting booed because of, racist comments, basically. You reap what you sow. Don't do the, he did what he did.
No, it just makes me feel sad.
It does, but kind of justifiable as well. So yeah, basically we'll be taking credit for Saturday night's main event coming back, and if you enjoyed it, you're welcome. If you didn't, take it up with Paul Levesque, all right? Wasn't our doing, okay, in that circumstance. Yeah, I've kind of mentioned the fact that they've all been taken down, obviously, because the network's not there, so we'll see how this looks going forward for any future ones. But the show opening.
Yes.
As is customary with modern WWE, we begin with the glitzy and atmospheric then, now, forever, together piece, which I must admit does possess a strong amount of aura and prestige. I think it looks very professional, and it kind of gives it a bit of gravitas, I think. Makes it feel special. Very well polished. I can't take anything away from them than that. We now get a beautiful shot from the skies of New York and the old familiar music from the very first SNME show that we have already covered. The cameras take us to just outside the arena with a sea of fans jumping up and down on what had to be a freezing night in the Big Apple. Just saying, they're bringing back the old music. I'm going to put this out there again. If they bring back the original WrestleMania music, I will also be trying to take credit for that as well. Just saying.
I see.
That is how... Oh, sorry, no, hang on a sec. A distinctive voice welcomes us to Saturday night's main event, and we now head to a very nostalgic VT. Holly, do you remember having to physically press buttons on a TV to change the channel?
Yes.
Please tell me it wasn't just me.
No, we had one, but we only had to do it because the remote was broken.
Right, so the very first TV I had in my room as a kid was a hand-me-down from, God knows, the 80s or something, and it had the 5 main channels, but I had to reach up and physically press the buttons underneath on the bottom. No remote control for it.
Really?
So volume, everything on the TV. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so we never had one like that. It was only because, like, back in the day, the remote didn't physically work.
Right.
But that was the only reason.
Yeah, no, mine was a hand-me-down, so that doesn't age me any differently, but I still have nostalgic.
Vintage.
Yeah, very vintage. Probably say it goes for a pretty penny now if it hadn't gone into the trash. Oh, that's American. The trash. See, this is what happens. If I watch like a lot of Americanized stuff, like with the wrestling, I'm going to come out with the odd Americanism, so I can only apologise. Like I say trash can. I don't say trash can here. No. But if I say the wheelie bin, doesn't make sense.
I mean, I'm sure there's been a wheelie bin.
Hits him with a wheelie bin.
Form of fight, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. That is how the package starts, as a hand is seen pressing the button on the unit to flick through the channels until it pauses on NBC and the very first Saturday night's main event. Well, not quite actually. It's a highlight reel of a number of big moments from the history of the show until it settles on the voice and image of Jesse the Body Ventura. The TV is paused and rewind is hit as the footage speeds up accordingly. Now we see a modern package with a current crop of WWE stars such as Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre and Liv Morgan, but we're treated to a man that we have not heard from in a while, Gorilla Monsoon, who says you can cut the electricity with a knife, and I would not cut electricity. I love how it's a Monsoonism as well. I want to hear unstoppable force against the immovable object. It's a happening on the external occipital protuberance. I also want dropkick and a beauty. I want 360 over the top. All the stuff that Gorilla used to say, I miss it, I want it back.
But would it have the same effect if it's someone else saying
No.
it?
No,
So
I
you don't
want
it back. You want his voice saying
I want us to watch a show which has got a gorilla in, where he's going mad. Especially if it's against someone like Heenan.
Oh, okay.
Or Jesse. Jesse's good, but I like him and Heenan's rapport a little bit better because Jesse can argue a little bit better, whereas Heenan uses ridiculous scenarios, which I quite like. Where do we go from here? So yeah, Gorilla Monsoon. As the package continues, we hear the voice of Mean Gene Okerlund, amongst others, until we get a freeze frame of current WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes posing with the title in much the same way that Hulk Hogan did all those years ago. Do you remember how the Saturday night main events start with Hogan finishing doing that? And it freeze frames.
Pythons.
Yeah, and then Cody Rhodes is doing that, and it freeze frames in the same way. They're really going for the nostalgia act here, which I'm okay with. And also you think about, obviously, I get it was, 40 years ago, so it was a long time ago. But the number of people that just aren't there. they're not around to do any Nostalgia Act stuff. Gorilla, gone. Mean Gene, gone. Howard Finkel, gone. Like, so many of them, appreciating, again, it's 40 years and they weren't exactly spring chickens, but you're like, oh, it kind of also hits home a little bit as well on that stuff. It's a bit sad, but don't worry, we got a good one to get involved in the show, so we're fine with that. Live in the arena, we get an impressive pyro display, and we can see a modified version of the classic WWF logo, and my God, do they go hard on the urge for nostalgia that the fans crave so much. The cameras pan the audience to see a number of fans amped for the upcoming show as the voice of Joe Tessitore continues his introductions for the event. We see Cody Rhodes leaving his tour bus and Kevin Owens feigning being blown away by entering the empty arena early in the evening, which is great.
It was funny.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Now the camera shows us the new Judgment Day in discussion. Oh, wow. I'm going to read this typo because it needs to be read. Yep. Now the cameras show us the new Judgment Day in discussion. As Io Sky enters the building flanked by Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai.
I see.
As I was going for there. Wonder where my brain was going.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, let's go with that. From here we see a determined Damian Priest swaggering his way down a corridor before being taken to Finn Balor and JD. Oh, I put JD Madonna because I can't remember how to spell his name. McDonough.
Madonna will do.
Yeah, because in my head it's Jordan Devlin, but that's not what he goes by anymore, is it? It's JD McDonough.
See, yeah.
Yeah. Laughing as they walk together somewhere in the bowels of the building. The reigning defending World Heavyweight Champion, who's wearing a very fetching suit, is also depicted walking aimlessly backstage before we head back live into the arena where Joe welcomes back Jesse, the Body, Ventura. Holly, give me your thoughts and describe this outfit, please.
So happy. His voice just proper makes me happy. Right. The outfit choice. The jacket. It's like a leather look jacket, but it's got snake skin detailing.
It does.
Which he does later refer to as being Jake the Snake's snake.
Oh, we'll get there. I've got a comment for it.
Thought you might. The many feather boas. I think maybe like 5.
Oh, you were counting as well with Pat?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
It's a number I can count up to, so we're fine.
Happy days. Only one hand needed.
Well, yeah, true. Honestly, this guy just gives. He just gives.
The hat worked.
Yes.
I thought the hat worked.
There's no hair really on show, which was fine, apart from the tuft at the back.
Yeah, but that's
Glasses, fine.
Sunglasses, fine.
Here for it. Jesse's always been allowed the sunglasses. He's in that exclusive group.
With Savage. Mm-hmm. It's Bret Hart getting allowance as well. Yes. And it was just them, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't think there's many other people that are in there.
They were the 3 that I was aware of.
There. But, yeah, he gives. I'll be honest, I was a little sad that we don't really get to see. In my head, I was hoping it'd be like a full head-to-toe look, and I was hoping he'd have some like really bright
flares
trousers on, but he's an older man. We'll let him off.
He delivered with what he could, I thought, to be fair. And I was pleased for him and for you.
Thank you.
Jesse says that after 40 years, he's back in the WWE. Joe informs us that he elected for a red bow tie in tribute to the late Mean Gene. Joe goes on to ask Jesse what he's most looking forward to seeing, and Jesse says it's the WWE title match. Jess accidentally refers to the challenger as Kevin Owen, before changing tact and knocking Dusty Rhodes and the current WWE champion.
Nice to see he's the same, though.
Oh, I love that. He's got
Brilliant.
to. He has to be.
Consistent.
I don't want him rooting for the faces.
No.
And I'll tell you what, in the main event, because I was worried when he started talking here, I was like, oh dear. Mm-hmm. And they said, oh, he's only going to be doing the main event. I thought that's fine, because then he doesn't have to do much swatting up, because it's not like he's been actively following the WWE content. So he's got to kind of bring himself up to speed, which, you know, when you're getting up there in age, not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So the fact that they put him in the main event, I was a little bit hesitant. But do you know what? My hat's off to him. And I would say take your hat off, Jess, but we've seen what happens when you take your hat off. Don't take your hat off, but you did well. You did very well. Joe informs us that Jess will be on the call for the match before handing over to Michael Cole. But Holly, wait 1 second. Whose music is that? As the camera trains on the throwback entrance akin to the early Raw episodes, we see that Pat McAfee will be joining the commentary team. I know you really didn't like him on commentary, did you?
I really didn't.
Has he grown on you?
Yes.
Yeah?
I actually now really like him.
Yeah, I think he's good.
He brings such an energy.
He does.
Which is so good sometimes, because as much as Michael Cole is, I'm fine with him, like, I like him, he's not at peak times he's great, but Pat McAfee is like a Duracell bunny.
And I like the fact that Pat actually brings out ridiculous mannerisms out of Michael Cole.
And we see some of these.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed that as well. Pat successfully blows himself up on the way to the ring, but does take a moment to point out that this will be the first time that a lot of people will be watching wrestling since they were last on NBC. This isn't just celebrating the past, this is the showcase for the future. Good sell. Good sell. Have you seen about Corey Graves?
Yes, I have.
So I was thinking about
thoughts,
Pat.
but go for it.
I was thinking about Pat, and I know that. Well, I assumed you'd swung your opinion on him because I know you weren't a big fan before, but I assumed you were a fan now.
Yes.
I am very similar, actually. I have to say. And then that made me think about Corey Graves has been chirping a little bit on social media.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
I would hope that this is a play for something.
That's so vague.
I read somewhere that people were thinking maybe it's a play for surprise entry, cleared, and then people were like, yeah, but no one would really care. And I was like, that's a fair point. Or just a little bit of rivalry between him and Bad News, which I've also heard. Or he could genuinely actually just be a bit disappointed.
I don't think it's necessary. So the other theory I heard was that he was trying to potentially get fired so that he could go to AEW. I don't think that's the case. I think he knows where his bread is buttered. But at the same time, if they're not valuing him the right way, there's a limit for everyone. Because for me, Corey is the best in that company at that job that he does. Michael Cole has won me round over recent times. I was never a big fan of Michael Cole, but he kind of gets the job done. Corey Graves, I'm always interested in. He's quick. He's intelligent. He knows how to use logic to back his argument for why something should be done for the heel and not the face, much like Jesse did in the day. Corey isn't necessarily or nearly as flamboyant as that, but it's kind of the same end result in many respects.
He is kind of like a modern day version, just not as eccentric. But I did read it all, and I was just a bit like, I just hope there's a bigger play rather than him just throwing his toys out the pram to get fired.
I don't think it is, because he's always seemed to be like a company guy. So why would he do it now, unless he was really pissed off?
I just don't see him fitting there anyway. Why, if you're here, why go there?
Well, if AEW said, you know what, we're going to make you the... But they've got a stacked commentary set up themselves, so I don't see how he shoehorn someone out.
Exactly.
No, I'll tell you what would have been a really interesting, both of them in their prime, let's say, who I think would have been a very interesting booth to listen to, JR and Corey Graves. Because JR obviously always champions the face. Because King, I could leave him every day. I've enjoyed the work of Heenan, I've enjoyed Jesse. Gorilla I like, not necessarily all for the right reasons, but I've always enjoyed him. Michael Cole's recently won me over, but Corey Graves and JR I think would be a very interesting pairing in their peak, so it can never happen, but that would be fun. I think Paul Heyman as well with JR I think was underrated by a lot of people.
I did like that. Give
me JR and Heyman over JR and King any day.
I agree.
But it was interesting to see. Just thinking about Pat made me think about Corey.
I did. I don't know.
Not famous enough for my own job.
I would hope there's a bigger play at
maybe
a build.
To me, Corey's better than Bad News.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
I like
I don't dislike him.
But when I listen to him, his voice bores me. It's just not...
Yeah.
He's not got the pitch changes in someone's voice that I will listen to. His is very...
And everything seems intense. Whereas Corey's got, like you said, the levels. So the big... And do you know what? I think that is what made JR exceptional. Because he knew when he started going, by God, and started doing the really loud, it was for the right moments, because he was doing it as if a fan was watching it. And so he mirrored the people's reaction at home. So that's why, for me, when I think about like the iconic moments in wrestling history, every time it's JR's voice over the soundtrack of it. Because he did that so well. Corey has got that ability to mirror the importance of something. Michael Cole's getting better at it, but he still goes over the top too quickly, I find. And Pat is mental.
Brilliant.
But he's good. I don't mind that kind of, like, over the top.
But he's also not like for me, I know I've said before that I stop listening when people are just loud all the time.
Yep.
But he brings the energy when it's needed,
Mm-hmm.
but then he'll be talking at a normal decibel.
Yes.
It's fine.
And I like his interactions with Dom. When
Yes.
Dom's at ringside, I
Yes.
think he does that very well. Okay, so before Michael and Pat give us the final opening line of the night, a familiar song hits the arena speakers as we're set for our first contest of the night. Holly's pleased. Coming out first, we have Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. On paper, it's a good match.
Yes.
High hopes for it.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
And even though it was recent, I don't know if you would have been aware of who won and who lost in this. I think the
No,
main
not at all.
event, you would have been
Yeah, I mean,
aware
that's-
of what happened. But
But no, not at all. Haven't really followed or intentionally. I think because even if we didn't review it, these are things that I will watch.
yeah. Oh, actually, thinking about it,
Yeah.
this would have been the only match that you didn't know the result of because all the others are title
led on,
matches, and because they're recent, you know who the champion was after the fact.
Yes.
So, oh, that's interesting. Did that like dampen
No,
any of?
actually.
Oh, okay.
No,
Interesting.
actually. Well, no. Apart from maybe near the end, but
Okay.
no. So this one, I like to have a medium hope, but given it's Drew McIntyre,
And I love Sami Zayn.
yes,
It depends how wet. It always depends on how wet Drew McIntyre's hair is.
he was all right this time. It was
Better,
still a little
not
bit
great.
not there.
Yeah.
I want to know who does this job because they're really doing a piss poor job.
I think it's the guys.
I will happily do it for them if they so desire.
Yeah, but they use oil. I don't know what you'd use.
Do you know what I've seen them use is for their hair is coconut water
Oh, okay.
rather than normal water.
I thought it was oil and water.
Yeah, I've seen on my researching. Jeff Hardy definitely uses coconut water, but it's a
Okay.
different consistency.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
But if they need help, I can give my services.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to offer similar services for anyone in the locker room of the probably more. Well, if you're covering the men, it's only fair. I will
Well,
take
obviously,
the hit and I will help the women design their gear if they
okay,
want.
nice.
If they need to model it, that's fine. If they need me to model it,
Now that would
I
be
would.
great.
I saw a sign in the crowd the other day, and you know, objectifying women, it's not the done thing anymore.
No,
It's been a slap on the wrist for a while now.
but go on.
But I saw a sign in the crowd,
Yeah.
and it tickled me. It was showing someone at ringside, and I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was Roxanne Perez was in the front row for a show
right.
recently, and they zoomed in on a sign behind, and it was a guy leaning to one side smiling, and it was a sign that said, "Get your tiffies out."
Oh, nice,
And I thought, that's clever.
nice play.
That's funny.
That's
That
good.
is funny.
That's old school vibe as well.
It is, but it wasn't puppies. I don't want to see puppies.
No.
Puppies have been done, but
No,
tiffies, good.
That's funny. I
That
like
is funny. Right, so let's get into this match. Let's get our priorities right. Priorities? I said that right. It didn't sound right, but I did say it right, I
Okay.
think. You're
What
not convinced?
What are your priorities?
My priorities. Was Drew's hair wet enough? Like, was it on a scale of
Could
1
have
to
been
10?
a little bit wetter, but
Were we at a 7?
it distracts me when his chest looks the way it does if his hair's not wet enough. He's got a great physique,
Yeah, he
this
does.
man. His chest is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a bit like mine. Except he's a bit tall. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Stop it.
She's joking. That's unfair.
Anyway,
I'm not 6'6". I'm aware of that.
but no, he looked good.
Got the same hair coverage, so that's fine. As the Scottish Warrior makes his way to the ring, we are shown footage from 2 weeks ago where he laid out Sami Zayn on Raw. This would lead to the following week, Sami calling out Drew for SNME before getting attacked once again. This all being based off the fact that Sami realigned himself with the Bloodline, who Drew had been avidly fighting against, and he's like, well, why have you gone back to them when they wronged you? And Drew had been
Fair
gone
point.
for a while after his match with Punk at Bad Blood, and this was his return by Claymore kicking Sami Zayn in the face. So straight away, he's in my shit books.
Oh.
The two are later shown brawling backstage. Sami now makes his way to the ring, and once he has removed his hoodie, he charges at Drew to get the early advantage.
Poor Drew doesn't even get his jacket off.
We've got coverage on that as well. Bell sounds as Drew shoves Sami away. As Drew struggles to remove his ring jacket, Sami is back on him, throwing right hands. McIntyre powers Zayn into the corner and opens up the Angus Beef Chops Butchers using only the thickest of Highland cows, and we get a Sami Uso chant.
Before we carry on, do you know what I did like as well? Is that the refs were dressed old school.
You're about 3 notes ahead of me,
Ooh.
but I get there as well.
Oh,
Into another corner and another chop from Drew, who only now finishes removing his entrance attire. Drew misses with a third attempt, and now Zayn unloads with chops before delivering some Win Twice approved Sesame Street punches in the corner.
Yay.
As Sammy flurries on the dome of Drew, my attention is drawn to the throwback attires that the officials appear to be wearing tonight. Nice touch. It really is, isn't it?
Wasn't it?
So for those that didn't see it, it's like a smart blue shirt and a black bow tie, tucked in, all good. Because now they're going for like the black ref outfits, which I also quite like, actually, I must say. Big clothesline from Zayn sends Drew over the top to the floor, and he follows up with a springboard moonsault to the outside, wiping out the Scotsman.
Nice.
They return to the ring, and Drew now regains control with a kick and big knife-edge chop. Zayn is whipped into the ropes but manages to hold on and ducks a charge from Drew that sends the big man to the floor. Slingshot crossbody to the floor is attempted, but McIntyre catches him mid-air before pausing and then dismissively throwing Zayn over the announce table.
A ridiculous
Brilliant.
show of strength, that.
Brilliant. It's just the way he's just went,
Casual.
fuck you, threw him away. Great. As we return from commercial break, we see we wouldn't call that the commercial break over here, would we? Going to the adverts. Yeah, adverts.
Adverts, yeah.
You couldn't have gone more northern when you said
Really?
that, yeah. To adverts.
Oh.
Yeah, listen to that one back later.
Oh, no.
As we return from commercial break, we see a weary Zayn in the ring with Drew looming over him. Measured chops from McIntyre, and he runs Sammy back first into the buckles the moment he tries to fire back, and now throws him overhead across the ring for a near fall. Mounted rights from McIntyre, who's taking his time, enjoying inflicting punishment. Whip off the ropes, but Drew ducks early and eats a kick. He charges in haste towards Sammy in the corner, who gets a back elbow up. Second charge sees him eat a boot, and Zayn lands a second rope axe handle, which in itself is a throwback.
I don't want to see these.
I loved it, because I knew as soon as I saw it, I went, and Holly hates it.
Yeah, I've literally written boo.
Love that. Drew charges across the ring once more, and Zayn sidesteps, causing McIntyre to connect shoulder first with the ring post.
Drink that drink.
Sammy has it first of the night. I wonder which show has had the most drinks.
Oh, there was one.
There was one that was insane.
Constant.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I feel like it was an early Mania.
Maybe.
But either way, if anyone's interested out there, well, I'm interested in here. But if you want to go through and find out how many times Holly
If
said
someone else
drink,
could do it, that'd be great.
that would be amazing. Then we can keep a tally going forward. I don't know who I'd task that with. Keith. Go on, Keith. Fill your boots. Drew charges across the ring once more, but Zayn's like, yep, into the shoulder. Sammy has him lined up, looking for the haluva kick, but Drew scores with a boot instead. Big spine buster follows, and a jackknife pin gets a 2 count. With Sammy on all fours, Drew impressively powers him up into a sit-out powerbomb for the 1, 2, no.
That was nice, though. I liked that.
It was. Drew powers Sammy onto his shoulders and ascends the second rope looking for the white noise, but no, Sammy fights it and slips out the back door to connect with a sit-out powerbomb of his own for the 1, 2, no. Kind of a sunset flip powerbomb, to be fair. Blue Thunderbomb attempt is blocked, not once, but twice. Second time he gets Drew off his feet, but no further before the third attempt is blocked and we see a Glaswegian kiss find its mark. 3, 2, 1. I was waiting for Gladiators to kick off. Claymore attempt, but no. Zayn lands a boot of his own and scores with a Blue Thunderbomb for the 1, 2, no. Drew is up. Both men are down as the crowd get a moment to regather their thoughts. This is awesome. Chant. Sammy is trying to fire up the crowd, who respond in kind, but Drew is wise and rolls out of the ring to avoid the incoming haluva kick. Zayn follows him to the outside and then back into the ring, where he's caught with a Claymore kick. Hook of the leg, and we get the 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins the match by pinfall. Holly, what did you think of the opener?
You know what? I really liked it.
I did.
It was the perfect length. The match was the perfect length.
I bet it was.
There was a lot of good content.
Oh, yeah.
I like both people.
Yep.
What else have I said? Oh, also, just to draw your attention to the front row. The guy here, right, I've put...
I didn't people watching this one.
There is one guy in the front row that A, always looks spectacular, and B, must be so rich because he's always in the front row. And he is the man that always goes dressed as Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Looked amazing. Also, I like that... I'm going to go back to the crowd. Although it's one match in, everyone that is sat there is invested in watching. They are not sat on their phones taking pictures, videos. Love that. Absolutely loved it. 3 out of 5.
Nice.
I do have a question.
Yes, go for it.
So, Sammy is 40.
Wow.
Drew is 39.
Mm-hmm.
If Drew is going to get what I think he should get, his big moment, do we not think this needs to be sooner rather than later?
Yeah, it depends on... I mean, he's keeping himself in good nick, and the kind of way that wrestlers age these days is a little bit better than it was back then.
Gosh, yeah.
Because you look at someone who was 24 back then, you went,
Middle
oh
of
my
50.
God.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in theory, if all goes well, I don't see why you couldn't have nearly another 10 years
Yeah.
in him. Whether that's at the top level, I don't know. But it has to happen within the next 3 to 5 for sure.
Okay. Just wondered, because obviously things are winding up for Rumble
Yep.
and stuff, and I just wondered, I thought, maybe.
I'm still not sure which way the Rumbles are going to go, to be fair.
I know.
It'll be interesting to see.
It will. But really enjoyed that.
Yeah, good. So I've actually managed to get Dave Meltzer's scores for this.
Oh.
So because it was more of a recent show, I think it's probably more easily accessible.
Yes.
But yeah, before I go into that, I thought... Well, actually, no, it was kind of touching on what you said about the Savage guy in the front row. I don't know if it's the same guy, but there's someone who I see their content pop up on Instagram
All right.
of him going around to like different conventions and talking to wrestlers in full Savage gear doing the impression.
Oh.
And he happened to bump into MJF.
Oh, I've seen this. Yes,
Yeah.
I have
And
seen
he goes,
this.
oh, the M in MJF stands for macho. Yeah. And then he goes, suck my dick. Yeah. And walks off. And it's just like brilliant. Because then he breaks character and goes, did you get that on film? Turns around to the guy, did you get that on film? And he went, yeah, we got it. I just thought, just a perfect heel.
Yes.
MJF. I saw him do something else recently where he was asked to sign something. And I can't remember what he did, so I don't know. I shouldn't have started this story, to be fair. And he either ripped it up, or I can't remember what it was, but it was really funny. And I was just like, it's just good heel work. Just really good heel work. So Dave, and I split the difference between you and Dave. Dave gave it 3.5.
Okay.
So I'm about the 3.25 mark. I think it was a decent match. It was good. There were no moments where I was like, this is a bit shit. A couple big spots in there as well. The ending I liked and I disliked at the same time.
Oh, really?
In the fact of it was clever because Drew's gone out the ring, come back in, then caught Sammy unawares. But normally that's not something that ends a match in any... if you're watching a pay-per-view, that's something Sammy would kick out of and Drew would be head in his hands. But I like the fact that it did end the match.
Yes.
As well.
I like that Drew won, I'll be honest. 'Cause
First
obviously
time...
He's had a few losses, shall we say, that I was like, actually, makes sense.
First time a finishing move was hit in this match, it ended the match.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, agreed. After Michael Cole does a shill of a WWE game, we now see Io Sky ready for battle and making her way to the ring alongside Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai. Against her is Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, who is flanked by Raquel Rodriguez and Dirty Dom. Before any match can begin, however, we see a VT of Jey Uso stepping out of a car to promote WWEshop.com that has all the ish you could need. Yeet. Season's yeetings, Oos.
I've got a question for you.
Yep.
If you had to buy anyone's current merch, who's you buying?
Can I pick the item?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Because I've picked one. But...
Penta's mask.
Ooh, okay.
Because I would think if there's a Halloween
But
get
would that
up
have
going,
been available then? Because had he been on
No.
Raw by that point?
No.
Then I need you to pick another answer too.
Okay, it'll be a CM Punk thing.
Of course.
It'll be a CM Punk top, or Mummy's always on top.
Ooh. Very good. Very good.
So it would be one of the
Nice.
two. What would yours be?
I also went for CM Punk.
Oh, okay.
But he's got this one top. It's very specific. I
Right.
think it looks very good on him, actually.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not a t-shirt as such, but it's got like, I would call it a racer back, but it's also at the front. So like, you know where it kind of dips in?
Okay.
It just looks really good on him, actually. But also I like tops on that. So.
Okay.
Nice oversized tee.
Fair
Can't go
enough.
wrong.
Yeah, so you can drop it off the shoulder because that's the
course.
classic.
Goes.
The classic. You have to
Bit
stretch out.
shoulder out.
Have to stretch the neckline if Holly's getting a t-shirt.
There's a bit of hint of skin that's very innocent.
I would love to get your Tiffies out
God,
shirts.
that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
But that's a very good question. Not something I've thought about. But yeah, it tends to be a CM Punk related one. I've got a few of Punks, I think.
Okay.
Well, older ones anyway. As we return from commercial break, we see WWE Hall of Famer Rich Herring. So, Holly, who is Rich Herring, I hear you ask?
Who's Rich Herring?
Well, let me tell you. Herring was World Wrestling Entertainment's Vice President of Government Relations and Risk Management, and had been one of the most important names behind the scenes during his 50-year run with the company before retiring from the company in October 2023. Shortly after the Endeavour takeover of the company, Herring opted to retire. At the time, PWInsider.com confirmed that the company actually wanted him to remain, but Herring had decided it was time to quietly step down and exit. He actually also won the Warrior Award at one of the Hall of Fame, just as like an unsung hero from behind the scenes that was just an ever present in the company. So that's who Rich Herring was. Because I saw him and went, I feel like I should know who he is, and there's something that's familiar about him, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and it's because I remember him getting the Warrior Award. But I thought, let's share some of the love for a man that was an unsung hero behind the scenes for a long time.
Thank you. If he's the only person I saw, that would have been fine.
After Herring, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, we head to none other than Holly favourite, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. It seems like no matter what company we go to, and whatever the year, Jimmy Hart will be there like flies on a steaming shit. Holly, thoughts?
Why? Who hates me? What have I done?
We've just gone from TNA, Unbreakable 2005, to an episode of Saturday Night's Main Event in 2024, and he's on both.
And do you know what? I watched Raw, the first one. It's fucking there as well.
Yeah, with Hulk Hogan.
Honestly, leave me alone.
Someone who went under the radar there, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh, yeah.
Still the same hair, though.
I know.
Quite impressive. Quite impressive. I didn't see any elbows being given.
Thank God.
No timber falls. I like to think that the second rope axe handle that Sammy gave was a little nudge and wink to our man out there.
God. Honestly.
Anyone that's interested in a cameo from Greg the Hammer Valentine, save your pocket money. Not saying I got one from him, just I'm not shitting on his cameos. I'm just saying you'll need a lot of money to get one.
They're dollar.
It's like 200 something quid. Oof. It's mad.
Oof.
Whereas you get more reasonably priced Tito Santana. Friend of the show, Tito Santana. Match number 2. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan for the women's world title. On paper, I'm interested by this.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, I think, is vastly improved from the in-ring side. And Io Sky, I think, is incredible, to be quite honest. Fair. Really good. One of my favourite women to watch. The challenger is the first one to emerge for the second match of the night, and although Damage Control briefly join her, she makes her own way to the ring.
I like that. I like that they left her be.
Yep, a theme of the night, for the most part. Everything about the Nintendo Wii. Everything about the way Io carries herself and her mannerisms is captivating. She has the it factor.
Yeah,
she just there's a untangible thing that you can't quite define, which everyone kind of says is the it factor. And it's just her whole, because she seems like an absolute sweetheart backstage that's like quite demure, doesn't do anything outlandish. But when she's out there and the lights are on and her music's playing, it's like Asuka.
Okay.
Like she's got a very similar thing where she suddenly like becomes this character with all the weird mannerisms and stuff, and it's just played off so well. With Io in the ring, we now go to a VT package showing Liv's impressive 2024 run that saw her win the world title and the always impressive and well-decorated challenger, Io Sky. Now the champion makes her way to the ring, who perhaps unsurprisingly also decides to go it alone as Dom and Raquel head their way to the back. On commentary, Cole mentions how veteran official Charles Robinson is wearing the ref cam for this one, so that is a warning for him to make sure he's not looking where he shouldn't be, and Pat informs us that Charles actually owned the shirt he's wearing from his wardrobe. Great attire on both women, has to be said, as the bell sounds. I guess we will cover that in greater detail when we get to your moment at the end of the show.
Sure.
Straight away, Io changes into a No. It's because I was laughing about you saying, sure, like you definitely thought about it. And then I said into a... I don't know what I said, but it was bollocks. Straight away, Io charges into a hair pull that slams her down into the canvas. She kips back up, impressive, ducks under a clothesline, cartwheels and backflips out of the return, but eats a shotgun dropkick from the champion. Liv shimmies her way around the ring before charging and landing an elbow in the corner. She rolls away but turns right into a dropkick from the challenger. Morgan charges, but Io scores with a Holly, what is this move called?
Oh, fuck. No.
Flapjack.
Oh, not the same one every time. No.
Yep. Yep, this gets a near fall. It's going to be one of two.
God's sake.
This gets a near fall. Liv is whipped into the corner, but ducks between the ropes of the apron to avoid the EO charge. Sky is quick and joins her on the apron, wagging her finger and unloads with a stiff forearm. You might not get the finger wag from Hogan, but EO Sky gave it to you here.
Someone's giving it.
German suplex is blocked as Liv elbows her way free. Now she looks for a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor, but EO holds on. What noises were you making during this moment?
Nervous.
Because the way she jumped off as well was at an angle, I noticed, and I thought, the knee.
Mind those knees.
The knee. But Io holds on. She spins her position and kicks Liv in the chest. Io revs the fans up before scoring with a springboard moonsault that only just manages to find its intended target.
Yeah, it looks lovely, but obviously does nothing.
Yeah,
but
on this one.
It does look nice.
With Io celebrating her success on the outside, we head to a commercial break. When we return, they're back in the ring and Sky lands a double stomp to the midsection of the champion. 2 big running palm strikes score from the challenger, as does the following dropkick. Io head flips her way back to her feet and absolutely wipes out the champion with a suicide dive.
She doesn't make me nervous.
Weird. On a suicide dive?
I feel like she is pretty solid.
That's interesting. I've never heard you say that you felt comfortable on a suicide dive.
Yeah, she doesn't make me nervous.
Does the person catching her not play a part in it? Because Liv did fine.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
But yeah, weirdly feel like she's pretty solid
okay.
at these.
And was it you that we were having the discussion about whose moonsault was better? Because you love a Charlotte Flair one.
I do.
And I said, Io Sky.
Yeah.
It's a pretty one.
Mm-hmm.
The challenger returns her to the ring and hits a beautiful springboard missile dropkick back into the ring that earns her a near fall. Morgan rolls clear of the bullet train attack, as I've now learnt it's called, and delivers a backstabber. Liv roars and connects with a second rope code breaker that earns the 1, 2, no. Go on, you got a question?
Is that her finisher?
No.
What is her finisher? Can you help me?
The one that wins her the match later.
Obliviate. That is, thank you.
Sky gets a boot up off the charge and connects with a lovely German suplex, rolls through, hits a second, and then scores with a third. Holds the bridge and gets the 1, 2, no. Liv kicks out. Let's go, Io. Sky springs her way to the top rope, but Morgan shoves her from behind, sending her onto the apron. The advantage doesn't last long, though, as Io yanks Liv's arm over the top rope. Io looks to spring off the top rope again, but misses her footing and is countered into a code breaker. Now, I don't know if that was meant to be intentional. I assume she was meant to spring properly and then got in her own head about it based on where Liv was and missed it, but Liv still kind of hit the end result with what she was going for.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a good save, I'll say that. Hook of the leg, but only a 2 count once again. Morgan begins slapping herself in the face, you won't need to worry about that soon, to wake up, but finds a small package waiting that gets a 2 count despite her shoulders not being down on the canvas. Step up Inseguri finds its home from the champion, but she swings wildly and is dragged down into a crossface. Liv rolls through to break the hold, but eats a massive knee to the nose. She crawls her way to the corner, and this time the bullet train attack does land. Io positions the champion, walks over her, and looks to score with a moonsault, but no, Liv puts the feet up right into the challenger's face as she descends. So a few things here that I want to comment on.
Oh, okay.
Is that the knee, I thought, oh, that looks hard. And then you realise, oh no, that did land hard, because that busts her face open. The moonsault, being able to get your feet bolt upright, so it wasn't just the knees up, she was feet completely up in the air, and for Io to manage to take that and then still carry on that motion, brilliant. Really, really good, and it looks so impactful. Oblivion scores, or Obliviate, whichever, I think it's Oblivion, scores, and we get the 1, the 2, the 3. Liv Morgan retains the Women's World title by pinfall. A bloody-nosed champion clutches the title before being accompanied back up the aisle by Raquel and Daddy Dom, who kindly assists in mopping the blood up from her. As they reach the entryway, we suddenly hear Rhea Bloody Ripley's song hit, and after a moment, the woman herself appears at the top of the ramp, and there is a stare down. The crowd are going mad for the former champion. Rhea, she might always be on top, but she always gets support as well. It's always a loud reaction. The two women go face to face as Liv raises the title into the air. Holly, what did you think of this match?
By no means was it not good. It was good. Like, I didn't drift off. Like, I paid attention. There was something missing for me here.
Okay.
Io Sky, amazing. Brilliant. And for me, it was an exhibition match of showing just how good she is. Liv, to me, did not a lot here, apart from take the hits. But then still retains
two code breakers.
Yeah, but I don't know, it just didn't do much for me. And I thought it would do more, considering they're both of a smaller stature. I thought I would be more invested, but weirdly put Liv against Rhea Ripley, who's 6 inches taller than her, and I'm more like, they've had really good matches.
3 inches taller, I think, or 4 inches.
In my head, it's nice.
A foot and a half.
She's 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Io, amazing, looked great, but I just kind of was a bit like, meh, okay.
Okay, so what'd you score it?
2.
Okay, weirdly, and I have no idea why, I couldn't find a score from Dave Meltzer for this one. Every other match, fine.
Right.
This one, there wasn't one.
Okay.
I actually preferred this to the opening match, and I gave it a 3.5.
Oh, okay.
Only just above what it was for me in the other one. But I like the Io Sky. It was the pace of it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Liv didn't have to do much in this match, which was fine by me. The knee to the face, brutal. The feet up on the moonsault, suicide dive, moonsault to the floor, drop kick, rolling German suplexes. It was good. I really enjoyed it. 3.5. I'm an Io Sky fan.
Yeah.
I'd like Liv Morgan as well, but I prefer Io Sky. Makes sense to have Liv win and carry on.
Yeah.
Really good match. The pacing of it was good. With that piece of business done, we now are shown the tail of the tape for the upcoming World Heavyweight Title Triple Threat match. A brief Fortnite advert appears, and we now head to the full set of commercials. Mm-hmm. When we return, we see a promo for John Cena's farewell tour and his last scheduled appearance in Toronto at the Elimination Chamber. We go to ringside to hear Michael Cole and Pat McAfee momentarily discuss the John Cena retirement tour before the next match can begin.
Do you think that John Cena is going to win any belts before he retires?
No.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he should.
It wouldn't make sense in my head, but...
There's the argument to make against it, for him winning the title, is that it would break Ric Flair's record.
Oh, really?
They're tied on 16.
I see.
Do they want John Cena to be... Because he's the ultimate company man.
It's the face.
Will they give him, even if it's for just like a week, 2 weeks, have him... Because let's say, not necessarily at WrestleMania, but let's say he manages to he beats Gunther. Okay. It's a match, it's a grueling match, but he somehow wins it. They have the rematch later, Gunther kills him.
Yeah.
Is that the end of the world? I don't think so.
I don't know.
It has to be, if it is going to be done, it has to be done well.
Yes.
And I can't see a better scenario. He's not beating Cody Rhodes for the title. That doesn't make sense. But I could see him in a grueling battle, just about in his last big triumph, edging Gunther, and then in the rematch, Gunther kills him. And I mean literally like Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston type kills him.
Because I was thinking, and I was like, in my head, who is retiring John Cena?
Randy
Orton.
Orton.
Always thought it would be Randy Orton. So have that be the last big match. Here's your retirement match. But before that, does he win a belt? Yeah. I
think Randy Orton will be his last match. I think there's a match with Punk in there for sure.
Okay.
Because the history they've had with we saw the one match at Money in the Bank. We'll have to visit that show at some point properly. But to me, out of who's there, the person that makes sense to do it is Randy Orton. Would I enjoy the match? No.
But I think for
nostalgia, but we've seen the match done to death, and I have no interest in seeing any show we get to that's going to have John Cena and Randy Orton. I'm going to go.
Oh, okay.
Much like I did when on the opening episode of Raw on Netflix, Biker fucking Taker came out again, and the arse fell out of me. No. And I still think they're going to start doing stuff with Damian Priest. I've said it before I'll say it again.
I know. I want them to leave him alone.
And I think it might have been from this match where I was like, oh,
yeah.
we're doing this, are we?
Yeah.
Old school.
Ugh.
The one move to take. Fuck me. Okay, but we are at the triple threat match. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title.
Yes.
You look confused already.
I've got my first comment, and I'm assuming you're going to say something about it, so I'm just going to wait and hope.
Okay. Out first is one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor, who's flashing his admittedly impressive physique to the fans whilst wearing a black sack over his head.
Why has he got bag on his head?
Wise decision.
Oh, he is a prawn, but I just didn't understand it.
Following his favourite, I don't know, video game character, Sackboy. I don't know.
It's weird.
But it said like Balor on it or something. But
I didn't know he was a Spurs fan, though.
No, you can't win them all. So, can't win them all. But yeah, when I saw the bag on, I was like, well, he's writing the jokes for me now.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's funny. As JD heads back up the aisle, we hear Pat refer to him as one of the biggest headed humans of all time, which is both harsh and funny in equal measures. I sent you that
Yes,
thing, didn't I,
did.
recently, where it was a AI image of him as Lord Farquaad
I love
from
that.
Shrek.
It's brilliant.
And it's uncanny. Uncanny how well that suits. With Balor in the ring, we see side-by-side footage of how this triple threat match came to be, and how the Judgment Day got the better by beating down both Priest and Gunther. Next out is the New Yorker and Holly favourite, Damian Priest.
Yep.
He beats his chest at the acknowledgement he hails from New York City before glad-handing the fans on the way down to the ring. Lastly, we have the reigning champion stride to the ring with a purpose, and he wants no part of the fans touching him, which I am a big fan of.
Yeah, very good.
Yep. He doesn't do it the best. There's someone later on who might be a future champion, but you know, little teaser, little dangle out there. Cole suggests that Gunther is suffering a crisis of confidence, having lost to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. I guess we'll find out. As soon as the bell sounds, Priest grabs Balor and tosses him into the corner, but Finn avoids the incoming contact, ducks a chop from Gunther, and looks to scamper out of the ring. He's about halfway successful until Priest grabs his trailing leg over the middle rope and tries to drag him back inside. Gunther tries to pull him back, but eats a forearm from the former world champion. After a few more land, Gunther lands a stiff blow before looking to connect with a powerbomb. Finn sees this opportunity and gets a schoolboy on the champion that earns him a near fall. Now Balor staggers from pillar to post as Priest and Gunther take it in turns, landing forearms and uppercuts.
I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As Finn falls to the canvas and rolls to the outside, Gunther scores with a big boot on Priest. The champ charges to the ropes but is met with a back elbow that knocks him to the apron. Two big forearms land and spinning enziguri connects, sending Gunther to the floor. Priest looks to seize the moment and hits the ropes before sailing over the top with a senton that only just lands on the champion.
He looks like, to me, he landed heavy on his lower back
Yep,
there.
on the floor, he did. He pretends his back is not in agony and gets up to Raw, where we head to a commercial break. I love the fact that you pick up almost on the exact same things. When we return, Balor has the upper hand but cannot whip Priest from out of the buckles as the big man is holding on. Priest fires back with forearms and sends Finn into the buckles. Before he can charge, he is met with a big boot from Gunther, who then lands a second on Balor. Gunther takes too long as he pulls Priest back to his feet, and the New Yorker unloads with kicks to the chest. One is caught though, and an open palm strike knocks him onto the canvas. Boston Crab applied from the champion, but he is soon struck with a knife-edge chop from Balor. This does little more than piss Gunther off, who releases the hold and marches Finn down. You look confused.
I don't understand what I've auto-corrected. Something's auto-corrected on my phone.
Okay.
But I don't know what it's meant to be. So
Well,
I'm waiting till you get there in the hope that I then go, oh.
Obviously, I want you to read exactly what your autocorrect says, and I'll see if I can work it out.
Balor gets a refund.
Receipt?
I don't know, probably.
Gets a refund.
I don't
Okay.
know. Or a
Kick by
return.
Finn, but he runs into a meaty chop from Gunther, so a receipt?
I don't fucking know at this
He does
point.
manage to duck the Telegraph second, though, and scores with a Pele kick in response. Priest hits the ropes and knocks both men down with the double clothesline. Big chop from Gunther, but Priest lands a flurry of his own before a right hand puts Gunther on his arse. Kicks, what have you got?
But, big roar from Priest, that means it's almost titty time.
Lovely. Is that the rules? Because if those are the rules,
Apparently so.
fine.
For him, yes. He's
Oh,
got to
okay.
get his nips out at some
fair,
point, hasn't he?
fair. Kicks for Balor and a roaring elbow lands with the following forearm putting the Irishman down. Another roar from Priest, who lands a leaping back elbow in the corner on both men in turn. Super kick puts Balor down. Priest charges back towards Gunther, but is elevated over the top and onto the apron, but he manages to block the following chop. Knuckle lock, and Priest climbs up top, and fuck me, this is what I said they would do with him, give him Undertaker moves. Instead of old school, he lands a crossbody and hits a high-angled flatliner on Finn. Hook of the leg gets a 2 count. Damien looks to score with a razor's edge on Balor, but Gunther kicks him in the gut and lines up a powerbomb. No, Priest lands on his feet, but as he goes for the razor's edge on the champ, Finn puts him away, or puts him down with a sling blade. Finn ducks a clothesline from Gunther and scores with his second sling blade of the night, which was a bit awkward. Finn is looking to land the shotgun dropkick, but Gunther slaps on a rear naked choke. Super kick from Priest lands on Gunther, which drops him, but he retains the hold, and Finn rolls backwards into a pin that damn near gets a 3. Nice move, very clever. Priest sidesteps Balor and sends him over the top to the floor, but finds himself locked in a rear naked choke. They fall to the canvas, where the champ lands a number of elbows before reapplying the hold. Priest manages to return to his feet and snapmare his way free. He grabs the throat looking for South of Heaven, but Gunther slaps him on the chest to break the grip. Not for long though, as Priest is back on the throat and scores at the second attempt. Before he can make a move though, Balor has Priest around the neck and drops him with a reverse DDT with an elbow across the larynx for good measure. I thought that was really good, because Priest hits the floor. Before he gets up, Balor's got him, pulls him up and takes him back down. Shotgun dropkick scores, and now he goes to the top, but before he can take flight, Gunther pulls the leg from the floor and crotches him on the top rope. Now the champ joins him up there looking for a superplex, but before he can attempt it, Priest drives him into the canvas with a razor's edge, and Finn takes flight with a coup de grace. Hook of the leg for the 1, 2, no. Priest clubs Balor over the back before hoisting him in the air, looking for another razor's edge. No, Balor rolls through and secures a sunset flip for the pin for the 1, 2, no. South of Heaven lands, but with Priest in the cover, Gunther grabs him by the hair and pulls him out of the ring, where he applies a rear naked choke and lands more elbows. This is awesome. Gunther looks to powerbomb Priest on the stairs, but doesn't get enough momentum, and Damien is caught in a bit of limbo. Somehow the champion powers through and scores with the move. Brutal. He returns to the ring and connects with the T-Rex dropkick, and then drives Balor into the canvas with a powerbomb. He holds on for the pin, and we get the 1, the 2, the 3. Gunther retains the World Heavyweight title by pinfall. Holly, what do you think of this match?
Do you know, I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it. Perfect length. A lot of content. I liked most people that were in it. It was very good.
Who don't you like?
No, I do. I gave it 4 out of 5. I thought that was an easy 4 out of 5. Very good. I enjoyed it.
Big Dave score? 4 out of 5.
Really?
Scott score? 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Yep, I thought it had a really good flow to it. The best flow out of all the matches so far. Each of the participants brought something slightly unique to the table. Gunther is a throwback wrestler who hits hard, slams hard, power bombs, no airs and grace. It works.
Yep.
Finn Balor's got the speed, he's got the aerial ability, although Damien Priest likes to fucking throw his hat in the ring on that one as well. Damien Priest is somewhere between the two of them. I'm still not a big fan of Damien Priest, if I'm honest. I just don't care for the character.
Yeah. I don't want them. I really, really, really don't want them to do what I think they're trying to do. Just leave him as he is. He's great as he is.
What do you think they're going to do?
Stop trying to put him into the box of... Don't give him the shit of all the moves of the Undertaker. Give him the shittest one. I'm happy with him doing
Tombstone?
Razor's Edge. No, Razor's Edge. Fine. Why are we giving him shit moves that were shit the first time round from someone else?
Has my hatred for this move rubbed off on you? Because I don't feel like...
do you know what? I watched WrestleMania 18, didn't I?
Oh, of course you have. Spoiler alert for what the next one is.
Yeah, but it just pisses me off.
It's so shit, isn't it? I've had this feeling ever since pretty much day dot. Well, not day dot because it was unique the first time I saw it when I was a kid, but after that you're like, it's dumb. It's dumb.
It's wank. And of all the moves, that is the one that we always say You stand up there for 20 minutes. Why is no one pulling you fucking down?
Or pushing. I like the...
Or just let go.
Yeah, it's massively remedial. The way that they do the... oh, shit, what is it?
Don't ask me, because I won't
No,
know.
I was just thinking, the one that really set me off more than anything was when I saw Undertaker twist the arm before he went to climb up, and he goes, "Old school!" Mm-hmm. Cool, and now you're shouting it out as well.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
It's just wank.
It really is. Wank is the word.
Thank you.
Where do we go from here? Kevin Owens. Well, Kevin Owens. Oh, okay, right. Sorry. Yes, the cameras take us backstage where we see Kevin Owens sat on an equipment case, pulling his elbow pad on in preparation for later tonight. Now we head to the office of Nick Aldis, who has the new Women's United States Championship title to hand and begins making his way towards the gorilla position. A VT package begins playing advertising the upcoming live schedule of events for the WWE and where they can be purchased from before we head to yet another commercial break. When we return, we are once again with Joe Tessitore and Jesse, who has now lost his feather boas, which has devastated Holly, quite frankly. Joe asks the body what of the 3 matches has gotten his attention so far, and he informs us it is Liv Morgan, as she took a shot to the head that would have stopped a normal person and still won the match.
I love his little comment about Dom.
And credits Dominic, boy can he pick women.
Yeah, it's so good. Classic Jesse.
It is. Jess is now asked how he thinks. I will say I'm devastated though. We never find out about Jess shouting at his kids.
Oh my God,
who were
yeah.
well in their 30s and 40s. Jess is now asked how he thinks the atmosphere compares to 1985, and he confirms that wrestling is bigger now than it was 40 years ago, and it's because of the great fans.
Oh.
Joe sends us back to Michael and Pat on commentary, and Pat tells us what an honour it will be to call a match with Jesse the Body, but also refers to Cole as the GOAT. I guess this is the co-main event of the evening time.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green with Piper Niven versus Michin for the United States Women's title. Thoughts on paper about this one?
I'm a Chelsea Green fan, right?
No,
I
come
think
on.
She's brilliant. But in my head, I see this match and I'm like, well, the one before it's 4 out of 5. This is kind of going to be
Piss break match.
a little bit comedic. Obviously, Chelsea's going to have help. I wasn't expecting a lot.
It was one of the ones where it was obvious as well, because everyone else has come to the ring unaccompanied, even Liv. And when Piper comes all the way down with Chelsea, you're like, oh, okay, you've come down for a reason.
Of course.
So the next match is set to decide the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion. And before I get onto my next comical line,
Sure.
I'm going to say, what do you think about having the mid-card titles for women? Do you think it's a good addition? Not needed? Where do you stand on it?
I don't see why not. It gives them something extra, I suppose, because if you look at the men's roster, they've got all the belts. And then the women's has only 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, give some more. Why not? Am I bothered? Not really, but I do think it's good to showcase other people. Why not?
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's, like you said, it's a good opportunity to get more attention on the women that aren't necessarily competing at the top end. I think had this come around, let's say a year beforehand, a good candidate would have been someone like a Tiffany Stratton to kind of cement her, give her, like, I would have had no issue had she not already been Money in the Bank, because she was in the tournament for this and came up short against Michin, I think, put her out. It would have been good to have her as the first champion, hold that title for a long ass time, so to cement it as a worthwhile title before she then goes on to Money in the Bank. I could have seen her having Money in the Bank and the US title, loses the US title in like some sort of fluke, and then cashes in very quickly after and gets the women's title. That would have been a really good sequence of events, but obviously time hasn't permitted that to happen as it has.
Yeah.
She's doing all right for herself, to be fair, but I could also, that's, if I was booking it, that's what I would have looked to have done with Tiffany.
It's kind of like a precursor to a big title.
Use it like how they historically did for the Intercontinental title. So the whole purpose of the Intercontinental title for a long time was putting it on people that were like workhorses, that could put on good matches, can be relied upon, but also people that they saw
Like
as being
Jericho's,
future champions
Edge,
at a
all that
high
sort of
level.
stuff.
Yep, Edge. I mean, there's so many people like Benoit had the title,
Yeah,
Eddie
true.
Guerrero had the title, Rob Van Dam had the title,
Like an introductory
The Rock.
title. See how it goes down
The
with
Rock.
the crowds as well.
Yep, Triple H, Intercontinental title,
Yeah, true.
Kane, Undertaker never did,
Oh, it's a shame.
but he kind of bypassed it
What
entirely.
a shame.
Oh wow, you really did
Oh, he's
enjoy
really pissed me off.
WrestleMania 18.
Really pissed me off.
So out first is Chelsea Green.
God, stop.
No,
It's not what I expected.
is that not what they do?
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I really didn't expect that.
Is that not what you have to
Wow.
do when you say her name for an
Yeah,
introduction?
I think it is.
Okay,
well
fine.
done. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh.
Holly, I have to say, sensational ring gear on the girl. Absolutely fantastic. Little
Yes.
cutouts of her own face all over her attire is a great touch.
Brilliant.
I like the kind of, like, it was almost like a wedding trail, wasn't it, from a bride's dress?
Yes, because that's her part. Well, that's come from her previous character, hasn't it?
Yeah, the loopy one from
Yeah.
TNA.
Yeah.
Which, actually, that's an interesting point to touch upon now. Have you seen that arrangement between WWE and TNA?
I have.
Multi-year agreements where they're
Yeah.
effectively going to be having a lot of crossover with NXT and TNA. Works well for both companies. Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Why not?
I wonder how
Just
they
in
could.
time for Rumble.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? Who have TNA got on their roster? Like
Oh,
Joe
I
Hendry,
wonder.
the Hardys, Dolph Ziggler.
Fucking double up the amount of people going into the Rumble because I'm going to be so annoyed when I don't see certain people.
I've said it before, one of my favourite Rumbles, and it really had no rights to be, but I really enjoyed the pacing of it, was the 40-man Rumble that they did that
Okay.
one year. Because it had different stanzas to it. It just, the flow was great, and it's still one of my favourite Rumbles. Even though the ultimate winner I didn't really care about, I thought it was so brilliantly done. And I was like, they can do it.
I just get more spaces in because there are so many more people that I want to see, and I don't want to see all of the New Day.
But
and
you're
none
gonna
of
they'll put
X, Y,
Kofi
Z.
and Xavier in.
I just
Fine,
don't
give
a
me
shit.
like 10 more entrances, so I don't feel like I've
Exactly.
lost
Judgment
someone out.
Day. Well, you've lost four, 5 spaces. with
Yeah,
all
because
of
you'll
them.
have JD, you'll have Finn,
I don't want Carlito in there. I don't care.
Carlito. Yeah, he'll be in there, won't he?
But do you know
Dirty
what I
Dom
mean?
will be
It's
in there.
like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
over a tenth.
Too many people.
So what is that? So that's 4 people. So yeah, it's over 10% of the Rumble
Yeah.
entrance will be Judgment
And
Day
I
if that
just
happens.
think, no, Bloodline. It's like 20 of them.
No,
Old
one of
and
them's
new.
injured. So so Tamatonga's not injured, but Tangaloa is out, and they're not expecting him back until about WrestleMania.
But you know, you're just a bit like one
I don't.
representative,
Weirdly,
please.
I would rather have all the Bloodline in at the expense of all of the Judgment Day.
I don't want Solo in there.
No, Solo's fine. Solo in there. Give me Jacob Fatu in there. He
Him,
is gonna
fine.
beast mode this Rumble.
Yeah.
If he's in the Rumble, he's going to be throwing motherfuckers out all over the place.
Yeah.
He'll be doing like a Roman Reigns did back in 2015. He will be, and it will be fine.
Speaking of Chelsea Green, I tell you who I would like in the Rumble.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah, but not as
Oh,
not as that.
radio.
As his current, if they can,
Yeah.
as his current like him.
Have you seen his booking schedule? Just see if he's booked
No,
around that weekend.
I don't go that in depth into it. I just
No. What are you, a nerd?
I just have a hope.
I saw someone actually, speaking of going back to Chelsea's ring gear,
Yeah.
cut out little faces of her, and they've recreated her ring gear for a figure.
Oh really?
So they've made one of her figures, and they put like that entire outfit on with the
wow.
cut out faces. And I was like, that's really well done. I would never in a million years put nearly as much effort into it. But it was, I saw it and went, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that was really good. Really well done. She makes her way to the ring between the onwashed masses and physically recoils as they try to reach out and touch her. She's like, oh, no, don't. And I thought
Very
it was
good.
brilliant.
Very
Really,
good.
really, really good. As she's in the ring, we're shown Chelsea's run to this final, which includes an impressive victory over Bayley. Out next is Michin, who is wearing nice gear, but she does generate less of a crowd reaction than her opponent, significantly less.
I would have potentially have her come out first
Yes,
because then it's a more audible drop.
yes.
Like it. And
Whereas
I
it
guess you can't
builds.
predict what but you could watch
You
previous
can.
shows and be like, well, Chelsea Green gets a bigger pop than
She does in general anyway, but think about where they were.
yeah.
New York, that's Matt Cardona's territory. So they're going to take her.
It was weird for me that she came out first.
Imagine if she didn't win. There were some interesting facts there about it.
Oh,
So Anyway, well, I'll get into that because I do have it covered off here. So we're shown footage of Michin's journey to this match, which saw her defeat Tiffany Stratton, who of course would go on to win the WWE Women's title less than 1 month later. As the two women readied themselves in the ring, Cole mentions that 7 years ago to the day, Chelsea Green won her first title, that being the television title in TNA. So weird to hear another wrestling company get referenced in WWE. It's bizarre. Even more strange, that match was against Michin.
Oh, was it?
And he said it on commentary.
I wasn't listening.
I know. The official for the contest is Jessica Carr, so it's an all-female affair, which seems fitting. The bell sounds, and Chelsea immediately misses with a pump kick, but ducks a roundhouse kick herself. Chelsea begins pointing a finger at Michin, who transitions to a go-behind waistlock. Chelsea counters, but Michin delivers a snapmare and secures a reverse chinlock. All the while, Cole is still referencing TNA and the two women's accolades, talking about the Knockouts champion and all this stuff. Back to their feet, and Chelsea looks for a hammerlock, but quickly finds herself in one before being arm dragged. Japanese variant follows, but Michin comes up short on a third attempt. Chelsea dusts her hands before slapping her opponent across the face. Michin is tossed between the ropes to the floor, but sees the suicide dive coming and connects with a slap of her own as Chelsea was partway through the ropes. Something I wanted to mention, I don't have it in my notes here, is that Chelsea, I've seen her talk, I don't know how much it is in character, but talking about how she wants to have matches with the divas. She said, I didn't want to be this high work rate woman. I wanted to be in the divas era. And she'd fit in, but she'd have been one of many. She now stands out because she's not like the others, which works for her better. She'd have got lost in the sauce back then. But one thing that I don't know if you've seen any of the work, I've seen it come up on social media because I've never seen the match in full, but what I've seen looks surprisingly brutal, is that Chelsea appeared in Lucha Underground.
Oh, I know this match.
And had a match with Penta.
Yes, I saw.
And it was high impact and looked bloody good. Mm-hmm. And she credits Penta. She said, he absolutely carried me through that match. Everything he did was great. It was brilliant, and it was a fun experience. So it's nice because she was asked about him coming to WWE. And I thought, because it doesn't look right, there's obviously the size disparity, but fun match. Fun match from what I've seen. From the apron, Michin applies a second rope tarantula. After she releases the hold, Chelsea has the referee distracted, allowing Piper to deliver a standing black hole slam on Michin. Chelsea exits the ring and is yelling at Cole, "You see that?" To which he asks, "Are you proud of that?" And we head to a commercial break. When we return, we are on a close-up camera shot of the title belt before we pan back to the ring and see Chelsea backed against the buckles with Michin struggling to get back to her feet. Chelsea is measuring her and looks for a Rough Rider, but is countered into a powerbomb.
I do like it. I do like the links.
Yeah.
I like it.
Michin ducks a clothesline and scores with a release German suplex. Nice. A second connects, and she follows up with a rope-assisted tornado DDT, which I was holding my breath for because it looks a bit awkward leading into the impact. Chelsea blocks Eat Defeat and looks to connect with the Unpretty Her. Michin blocks it and shoves her off, but Chelsea roars back with a Rough Rider, kind of. Hook of the leg for the 1, 2, no. Michin is standing on the apron, and she narrowly sidesteps the charging Chelsea, who sails between the ropes and hits a suicide dive on Piper Niven. Thoughts?
She makes me nervous.
Yeah.
She's so long.
Yes, she
as
is.
well.
Catch your knee.
Io Sky is of a smaller stature.
Okay.
Chelsea Green is long.
How did you feel that time that she went flying off the ladder from the ring through the tables at ringside?
I know.
That was one of my most memorable moments from last year.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green. Yep, so the two women help each other up and turn around just in time to be caught with a standing senton from the apron that drops both women once more. Michin lands kneeling in front of the title, which is a pretty cool visual for her, actually. I thought it was good. Attention is returned to the task at hand. Michin rolls Chelsea into the ring before hitting Eat Defeat on Piper Niven to take her out of the equation. Michin pounds on the announce table, but leaves it too long to return to the ring as she eats a kick to the clavicle whilst on all fours. Unpretty Her attempt is countered with a schoolgirl roll-up for the 1, 2, no. Messy Eat Defeat lands, and Chelsea throws herself across the ring. Michin hooks the leg, because I thought, she needed to land near the ropes. And I looked and went, she is not near enough the ropes.
Nope.
And God help her, the count of 2, she does get one of her gangly limbs onto the rope. And I went, how the fuck have you done that? Because I thought, I don't know what's going to happen here. When she kicks out, so it's mad, the crowd start chanting, Chelsea,
Yeah.
Chelsea, which I don't like hearing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just because of football.
Mhm.
Yeah. Midgen pulls Chelsea to her feet and sits her on the top buckle, where she cracks her in the face a number of times. Now Piper Niven re-emerges on the apron, but finds herself drop-kicked back down to the floor. As Midgen returns to Chelsea, she's caught with a big slap that spins her round. From the top, Chelsea hooks the arms, flips over, and connects with the Unpretty Her hook of the leg for the 1, the 2, the 3. Great little setup for the move.
Yeah,
Really good.
good.
Chelsea Green is the first ever Women's United States champion. The crowd roar in approval and Chelsea is going wild. Nick Aldis is now in the ring and secures the title around Chelsea's waist before taking his leave. Piper picks up the newly crowned champion on one shoulder and she begins to royally wave at the fans as fireworks go off in the background, and I genuinely think that's a real career-defining moment for her.
Yes.
She plays it so well,
Oh,
the whole
God, she
facial
does.
mannerisms. It was done really well. The match, I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, very similar to what you've said. I've put the match itself wasn't amazing. But as we've said before on other matches, the crowd fully behind Chelsea Green. She plays that part so well. And she's not awful. Neither of them are awful. It's just, it is a nothing match, isn't it? Obviously this was for something a little bit more important.
Then nothing, agreed.
But I did give it 2.5. Because I was just like, I can't just score it higher because of the atmosphere.
I agree with you. So I actually scored it 2.5. Dave gives it 3.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Based on the match content, I don't agree with that. But if you're including the after bit, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. But the match, it wasn't awful by any
it
stretch,
wasn't.
but there was a couple of noticeable moments in there. And of course, with Chelsea being the first Women's United States champion, it's also the first ever husband and wife who have been
Yes.
United States champion.
Yes.
So, I mean, it couldn't have been anyone else, I guess, because, I don't think there's any current women that are married to a former United States champion that would work. So, but yeah, it was nice. I thought it was a really nice moment. It was actually, and there were fireworks and everything.
Yes.
It was good. From one champion to another, as we now see a still promo image of Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, who will be competing in tonight's main event. Now we get a VT package of the WWE helping out the less fortunate with various charities over the holiday season before finally we head to a commercial break. As we return, we hear the voice of Michael Cole distantly declare a groundbreaking announcement, that being the debut of Raw on Netflix. To accompany this, we see a highlight package of some of the current crop of WWE superstars. Back live in the arena, at ringside, we see Coco Beware and the Elbow King himself. I knew I mentioned him. Greg the Hammer Valentine in the front row. No Frankie.
No.
Do you know why Frankie's not there?
Why's-
Frankie be dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do
I
like
think he died in
the,
a house fire.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I like the consistency though of Coco Beware still doing those damn bird motions.
And also, he is now basically
500
Hobbit
years old?
size.
Wow, as you get older, you get smaller.
Yeah, he's like turning into a little dumpling though. Like he's
bless him.
but he's still going,
He
flapping
was
his
having
wings.
a lovely time.
Yeah.
I don't need
La-
Valentine next to him, but he made me smile.
Last time we saw Coco, he was getting squashed by Yokozuna on the very
God,
first
yeah.
episode of Raw. That was the last
Oh
time he
my
featured, I
God.
think, in one of our shows.
Ain't that a shame?
Michael Cole makes the joke that Gorilla used to always say it takes Valentine 15 minutes to warm up. And speaking of men who are familiar with Gorilla, here he is, Holly, our boy, friend of the show, Jesse Ventura, sat on commentary.
Yes.
Okay,
I've got a bit of beef with Pat coming up in a minute.
go for it.
He's trying to steal my segment. He starts commenting on how Jesse's looking.
He does.
Get back in your box.
I know, this is your lane.
Livid.
This is 100% your lane.
Absolutely livid.
It's not the only thing they stole from us for this show then.
Oh,
The show itself and your
outrageous.
segments. Jess firstly would like to congratulate Cole and Pat on having these well-paid cushy jobs that when it was because of the guys like him that came before. Go on, Jess.
Yeah.
Michael talks us through the, well,
Ooh,
patastrator.
okay.
Is that what they call it? Before Pat goes on to an image of Joe Tessitore and Jesse from earlier in the night. Pat refers to Joe as a paisan for the second time of the night, for those keeping score, before circling his red dicky bow. He also questions whether he tied it himself, which, to be fair, I don't know how to tie a dicky bow, I'd probably have to get a clip-on one or get
Yeah.
someone to do it for me. Tie, no problem. Don't want to show off. But I've been doing ties since, what would it have been, year 7?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking 12, and I'm now a lot older than 12, so don't want to do the math on that because, oh my God, that was 2/3 of my life ago. Oh, no.
Fucked yourself then.
No, I really did. I've been, do you know, the period of time since I learned to do a tie in year 7 till now is the same time that Alan was stuck in the Jumanji board game.
Is it?
Nearly, yeah.
Oh, that is good knowledge.
2 years off, but nearly there.
Good knowledge.
24.
Oh,
24 years ago, but 26.
poor
yeah.
Alan.
Poor Alan, indeed. Oh, poor Robin Williams. Okay, so now he moves to Jess and points out that 5 feather boas that Jesse had on earlier, the sunglasses because he's cooler, and the snakeskin jacket before referring to him as a living legend.
Valid.
Pat says, I'm sure that the snake died peacefully in his sleep after a long and happy life, and Jess says, the snake used to be Damien, which is just a great joke, and Cole no sells, like, just in order to move on.
Yep.
Jess thinks, no, fuck that. I will repeat myself, and it gets a little awkward thanks to Pat reaching over across to touch him.
Yep.
I laughed.
It's
I thought
brilliant.
it was
It
so
is brilliant.
uncomfortably awkward that it was
I
just,
think Cole is literally like, I'm being told that we've got to move on here.
yeah, and we can't talk about
Jesse.
skinning actual snakes. We now go to a VT package for the main event where Kevin Owen explains to us how we got to where we are today. For 4 years he fought the Bloodline each week, and when at Bad Blood Roman took on the Bloodline, where was Cody Rhodes? Right by his side. Valid point.
I mean, it's valid.
We now get shown the footage of Owens assaulting Rhodes outside his tour bus, and it actually looks like a good job of making it appear as though it wasn't supposed to be seen. I know obviously it is, but it was done
Because it's
well.
kind of done on like a security camera
It is,
style
yeah.
footage.
And the fans' reaction to it, really good. We now get shown the footage of Owens' assault. No. Owens says that it hurt him that Orton chose Rhodes over him, and we see a favourite of Holly's, a pile driver that's put Orton out of action, and he's stretchered into an ambulance and away from the arena. Cody calls KO out and says Orton didn't deserve what happened to him, but Owens said that everything which has transpired is down to his own actions. Last time they had a match, KO couldn't pull the trigger, but this time he won't have that problem. He loves Randy Orton. He hates Cody Rhodes. The VT package picks up in pace and intensity as the two men brawl, and we hear KO say he will turn the American Nightmare into the Canadian Dream as he cracks the WWE title off the champion's head. And just a little comment on KO saying about the Canadian Dream.
Yes.
Have you seen that shirt that he wore?
Yes.
That is fucking brilliant. Obviously, throwback to Dusty Rhodes being American Dream, son of a plumber, son of a IT technician or something, isn't it? Computer systems,
Brilliant.
information systems technician, which I thought was brilliant. I always like the other thing that KO does, which I think is underrated, is every WrestleMania he has a KO Mania shirt, and it's based off the original poster design from whichever one it is. So he's on like KO Mania 7 or 8. So he uses the logo or something from that WrestleMania equivalent to put on the shirt that he wears that night. So it's really good.
That is clever.
I think. Yeah. But Holly, it's main event time. Main event of the evening.
Yay.
Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed title. Is it safe to assume that you are not overly looking forward to this one?
I don't care. I really don't care. And I think I've talked about it before because it's part of Cody Rhodes. I'm bored. I am bored. And Kevin Owens, I'll be honest,
Careful.
I'm bored of this too.
Careful.
I know, I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just bored of... I need something new. I need something to catch my interest. Because I still obviously watched it and I made notes and it was fine. Do I care about the match? No. Because do I know how it's going to end? Yes.
Okay.
There was no way that this was going to end with that belt going anywhere.
No, well, potentially not, but there was rumblings
Yeah.
that Kevin Owens could, and there was, like, I was questioning it when I saw, because obviously I didn't watch this event live, but I did see a title belt that was used, which we'll see and talk about in a minute. And I thought, maybe
Okay.
Just maybe. There's a chance, a
Yeah,
little chance. I think this kind of ties into what we were talking about in the Christmas
Yes.
session that we did, where Cody Rhodes almost unquestionably for a lot of people would be way higher on the list, yet he just edged ours.
Yeah.
And mine is similar to yours. So you're bored of him now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been engaged with him to that level. The crowd reaction he gets is great.
Oh, it's amazing.
I've got a question, and I think I pose it later on, so I'll avoid it here. But for me, there's just something about him. I'm not buying it.
Okay.
I'm not buying it. And he's not bad.
No.
His promos are actually pretty good.
Yes.
You can tell he believes in what he's doing, which is good. The look, solid.
Great.
I don't buy it.
To me, it's just the same. I mean, it's the same for the whole bloodline thing for me. That's got a little bit more interesting now. Other people are involved. Mm-hmm. But to me, this is just. I've seen this.
I feel like he's without a rudder.
Mm-hmm.
Insofar as he does have stories, obviously.
Yeah.
I think there's just nothing on the horizon that I can see for him.
Yeah.
That is piquing my interest.
Yeah. Agreed.
Whereas, like I said with Gunther, pretty much every match he has,
it's good.
I'm engaged in.
Of course.
I'm not for Cody. And I don't think it's because necessarily I know the outcome, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, look at Gunther's record, for God's sake. He's lost 2 singles matches in the last 3 years or something.
True, but his matches aren't boring.
No, I don't think Cody's matches are even necessarily boring. I'm not invested in them.
Yeah, I think, and to me, that makes it boring.
Well, I guess it's kind of, you can't have one without the other, can you? Mm-hmm. But yeah, and this does tie into, like I said, that Christmas series that we put together, because I know a lot of people would have disagreed with us on that. And for me, he's not as bad, in my opinion. You will disagree with this. Damian Priest switches me off more as a character than Cody does.
Okay.
But the difference there, for me, isn't that much.
Right.
Which is weird when you're pinning all your hopes on the company, on Cody Rhodes. Is there someone I think that's better equipped to do it? Hard to say. Because who's of the right age, who's good enough, able to do a full-time schedule at the moment? Because Reigns doesn't do full-time schedule. Punk not of the same age for a start.
Oh, is he not?
No, but he wouldn't be able to do the full schedule.
Yeah,
Rollins.
Again,
Rollins is like the closest.
We know I like Rollins. But I'm even starting to get a bit bored of what he's involved in, because we've seen it before. It's been going on. It's the same stuff that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
I need some new blood, new stories, new something.
New bloodline.
no more bloodline. But do you know what I mean? It's just, give me something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny, because especially if it's turning you off Rollins a little bit.
It's concerning.
That is a concern, isn't it?
Yeah. He's always been up there for me.
Well, he certainly has been up there. That is a great choice of phrasing.
Oh, God.
But yeah, because Braun Strowman's not going to do it. Like, he's got they've seen his scheduled match that's due. Is it this month? Haven't they got another Saturday night's main event this month?
Probably, I don't know, but
scheduled match with Jacob Fatu.
Really? Oh, I do like Braun Strowman too.
Oh, I am hoping for a pop-up Samoan drop on the big man. I think that would look fucking amazing. Could Fatu do it? Maybe.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. We'll watch this space. That's a future episode coming. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. And before we get into it as well, there's just some. I'll forget if I don't say it. So, obviously, I'm just thinking about Cody. New stories, new people, some fresh blood, but not really fresh. So obviously there was a story that came out the other day, or the press release that basically said the McMahon trial is done. Do you think that means that now that is over, Brock could come back? Because you know what?
He'll come back. I think Brock will come back.
I wouldn't mind seeing Brock against Cody, because it'd be something I haven't seen.
Are you talking shit? They had 2 massive matches.
I've not seen them.
Did you not see him last year?
I don't think I saw them.
It was because...
It's just someone new this year. And not this year, I know we're only in Jan, but do you know what I mean? Like, I just want something... Even Randy coming back, I'm not even bothered about it, because all it'll be is the same shit as before.
I'm not convinced I didn't watch one of the Brock-Cody matches with you in person.
But I'm just bored of Cody.
I think Lesnar will come back. When that'll be, don't know.
Who knows?
Rumble
Yeah, who knows?
instead of Joe Hendry. No, give me Joe.
Oh no,
I want Joe.
Yeah,
Little cheeky Joe. Because if it's not this year, it's not happening.
exactly.
Which again we've also touched on before. I think what they do, the natural progression for me with Cody is Randy Orton will do something snaky.
Yeah.
He will come back, look like he's going to go for KO, RKO on Cody. That'll be Randy Orton's now a heel.
Ooh.
So Cody and Randy Orton will have their feud. Randy will not beat Cody for the title.
Right.
Randy Orton's still a heel. Why is John Cena getting all this love?
Yeah.
I've been around here more consistently than he has. Fuck John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after it,
I'm interested.
and then
but I
after
suppose
it,
Cody's not involved.
because Orton could be heel for like that 8-month period, whatever it is. Cena's last match, Cena wins or loses, whatever the case is.
Shake of the hand.
Shake of the hands, Randy Orton's face again.
Yeah. I'd like that.
That's how if I can't think of a better last match for Cena other than him losing in a title match.
Yeah.
But for a bit of closure, I feel like a Randy Orton match does make sense.
100%.
Yeah, I think so. That's how I would do it. If I was booking it, that's how I would do
makes
it.
sense.
I don't know whether I'd want him to win or lose. If Randy Orton's staying, I think Cena loses.
Okay. Not mad at it.
That's probably where I'd go with it.
Nice. Okay.
So the match begins. Well, it doesn't begin because they haven't come out yet. As the challenger makes his way down to the ring with a mighty scream, whoa! Cole and Ventura argue whether Kevin Owens is in the right or not, and I agree with Jesse. Kevin Owens was wronged. As KO is standing in the ring, we head to a WWE Mayhem game promo before we head over to a full commercial break. I remember there being a lot of commercial breaks in the old SNMEs, but fuck. There's a lot here, but again,
They're
fine.
getting their
Fast
monies.
forward.
Yeah.
Fast forward, lovely stuff, thank you. When we return, we're floating down some sort of canal, and you'll have to excuse my ignorance of its location. Now back outside the arena briefly before we head to the ring where KO is sat on the top buckle patiently awaiting the champion to appear. My question to you, Holly, do the fans prefer Cody Rhodes or his entrance music?
Oh, it's 100% the music. 100%.
I think it helps him.
Of course it does.
Because people love singing it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he does get a good reaction. But for me, I prefer the music to Cody.
Yeah. Do you not think it's the same for Rollins? I'll be honest. As his music, if he didn't have his music, I don't think the crowd would be as behind him anymore as
Maybe.
they are.
Maybe it's a fair point. I actually prefer give me a Rollins match over a Cody match. But yeah, it's a similar thing. But I guess that's anyone who's got
I mean, you would want good music, wouldn't you?
Joe Hendry. Like if we're talking about music and like the actual. But yeah, there's a conversation to be had. As many people would disagree as agree on that. I think probably actually no, we'd probably be in the minority on the Cody Rhodes side. But to really cement the nostalgia vibes, look at what title Cody is making his way to the ring wearing: the Winged Eagle belt, the most iconic WWE title of all time. And Holly, got a question for you. Which do you prefer?
Ooh, aesthetically, this.
So the Winged Eagle one.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I'd be lying if I said that the new one wasn't I wasn't warming up to it a little bit.
Yeah.
And only because it feels like a product of the era.
Ooh.
It feels well suited to the presentation style of WWE now.
Yeah.
Whereas the Winged Eagle, that's childhood.
Yes.
That is childhood in a nutshell.
But it's in keeping with the show.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I thought it looked odd on Cody. We see that Kevin later, not necessarily in this show, but later takes that title away from Cody and is going around with it.
Oh, you think it suits him?
Suits him.
Okay.
Really, really suits him.
Fair enough.
So it's interesting, but I don't think Kevin Owens necessarily conforms to the production quality, shall we say, of like a Cody Rhodes.
No.
But yeah, interesting how I never really thought about that, because straight away, like you could have asked me at any point while they've been using this belt and I said bring the Winged Eagle title back.
Yeah.
Absolutely bring it back. But yeah, so I don't know where this story's going to pan out, but are we thinking maybe, let's say, okay, Kevin Owens does happen to take the title off Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Does he take that WWE title and go,
Throw it in the bin.
On the floor, stamp on it, something like that. We've seen him. Do you remember when... we'll have to cover it in a show, actually, because it was really good. And they had a pay-per-view match not long afterwards. When Kevin Owens came up to the main roster and he was the NXT champion.
Right.
And he attacked John Cena.
What?
So it was like
Master
John Cena was
of
doing
Thugonomics.
open challenges. The doctor of Thugonomics.
I say it now just to
You
annoy
knew.
you.
I could tell by your eyes. You had a little glint in your eye when you said that.
He'll always be the master to me.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't certainly let him perform any medical procedures on me, put it that way. He came out to answer one of John Cena's open challenges, beat him in the match,
Wow.
and John Cena was the US champion at the time. Kevin Owens looked at the US title, dropped it on the canvas, stood on it, and lifted the NXT title up in the air, and I thought, that's good.
Oh, okay.
That's good. So I could see him doing something like this. Maybe not a Shane Douglas, ECW, fuck all the legends that have held this title type thing, but, you know, there could be something there.
Okay.
Oh, wow. As Cody walks down the ring, a fan in the front row is holding up a sign that reads, overrated, and this was no accident from the fan. She is deadpan, holding the sign, and she's moving it with the camera as Cody goes past. It's intended for him.
Absolutely.
Because I have not seen that
I
up
hadn't
until
seen it,
this.
no.
But did you spot that as well?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, maybe there's a few more voices of dissension there than I was giving credit to. We get a brief sight of Lillian Garcia, who is wearing a very nice evening dress.
Yes.
She hardly looks to have aged in 20 years. What a fucking bitch. The formal introductions are given, and we hear Ventura point out that Cody was silly getting himself involved in a match against Chad Gable so close to the title defence, as he could not have healed properly in time. Although he doesn't quite remember Chad Gable's name, and someone tells him, because he pauses, gets it, and goes, that's it. Mm-hmm. The rest of it was fine. Again, at this point, I was a little bit still concerned about Jess being on commentary.
Yeah, sure.
The bell sounds, and immediately Cody charges at Owens, who simply rolls out of the ring, causing Holly to boo.
Yes.
KO is nonchalantly strolling around. I'll tell you what, KO is a fucking great prick.
Yes.
He is a great prick.
Yeah, he is.
Because I can love the man. I love his prickish behaviour as well.
Yeah.
So his prick actions don't annoy me like they do on someone else.
Yeah.
But he is so good at doing both face and heel really well.
Agreed.
He's a better heel than he is a face.
Oh, for sure.
But it's so good. Although I will say it gets a little bit overplayed in this one, but still, because I know Holly would have been upset, I enjoyed it. So KO is nonchalantly strolling around the ring. As Jess says, what Cody did to Owens was like your best friend stealing your girlfriend. Owens returns to the ring for a moment before quickly exiting once more. However, this time Rhodes is in pursuit. A number of punches land and KO is sent face first into the ring apron and then the commentary desk. For God's sake, be careful of Ventura.
Yeah, I know. Precious cargo.
Exactly. Cody rolls KO back into the ring, but he rolls right back out, but doesn't stop Rhodes from scoring with a suicide dive.
Nope.
5 matches, 3 suicide dives.
Oh,
Thoughts?
I know. Too many. Too many.
Is it because Cody's long?
I really struggle to... There are some people... Probably if I actually sat and did the research, there are some people that I could watch do it and feel comfortable.
I've never heard you say it for anyone other than EO.
Yeah. I'm sure if I did some more research, but I've seen enough of them be shit and dangerous. I don't like it. I don't want to see it.
Let me throw a theory at you then. Well, not a theory, but hypothetical. So I can never remember her name, but Catanzaro, whatever her name is, Kaylin Catanzaro, because she's tiny.
Yeah. I don't want to see her wrestle. Sorry. I'm really sorry. We know I have issues with her.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Sorry.
I know the answer to this one as well, but I'm thinking just specifically about the suicide dive, and then you can get angry about them later, Zelina Vega.
No.
No, so it's only Io Sky still the exception, even of the short-statured women.
Yeah.
That's a proper feather in that girl's cap, I tell you.
Isn't it?
And it's probably one that Jessie would wear on commentary.
Oh, a little beret.
A little beret indeed. It was kind of more flat cap, this one, wasn't it?
Yes.
But it's fine, it works. Owens returns to the ring for a moment. Suicide dive. No, I've gone back way too far. Ooh. Suicide dive lands. Upon landing, Cody is favouring the ankle, and we see a replay of this. Back in the ring, Cody is looking for a suplex, but the two men are jostling for position until Rhodes lifts Owens and drops him on his face. To the outside they go once more, but KO is prepared and he runs Rhodes back first into the ring post.
Oh, take the biggest drink you can.
Face first goes Rhodes into the commentary table and KO follows this with a back suplex on it. He leans on the desk to get close to the camera and says, "Hi Randy, hi Randy." Evil bastard. Great stuff.
Very good.
In the ring, Cody is looking to take KO down to the canvas from the top rope, but finds himself crotched on the top and caught with a lovely senton bomb. Hook of the leg for the 1, 2, no. Jabs from KO, who openly mocks Dusty Rhodes by rolling the arms, but finds himself kicked in the gut right after signalling the crowd to suck it. Cody delivers some jabs of his own and scores with the elbow to the top of the head, off the ropes, and he lands with a forearm. In the corner, and he goes up and over before a snap power slam finds its home. Rhodes is feeling it, but Jesse asks why he is waiting and tells him to win the damn match.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that, because I'm like, Jesse is here with the valid points.
He is. And that's when I was like, I'm comfortable with him being here.
Yep.
Disaster kick connects and we get the 1, 2, no. Now it's Cody's turn to pay homage by pounding the mat like Orton and lining up his prey.
No.
Your thighs aren't nearly thick enough to fill those shoes.
Exactly.
Off the middle rope and up to the top where he perches as KO rolls out of the ring again. His balance was good.
Very good.
Really good. Cody rolls out to join him but eats a super kick. Now Owens begins undressing the table. They climb on top and KO is looking for a pile driver but finds himself hit with an RKO. And I dare say it was from out of nowhere, Holly.
It was from out of nowhere, but leave it for...
Pat standing, Michael Cole standing, Jess sat down.
Because he knows that table's going nowhere.
That table is sturdy as fuck.
Exactly.
I think that'll be the thing now going forward. If we see it's a table like that, we're fine. If it's not a table like that, some bitch is going through it. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Ooh, very good.
Thank you. Cody sits KO on the top rope and smacks him across the face. He joins him up top looking for a superplex, but Owens is fighting it. After a struggle, Owens counters with a twisting fisherman's buster, loved that,
Yes.
from the second rope. Ventura calls out a slow count on that one. Agreed. It wasn't, it was fine. This is awesome.
Is it?
No. Stunner is blocked, Crossroads is blocked, and Earl Hebner is at full fucking arousal as Charles Robinson is levelled when Cody is shoved into him, and Charles takes the bump of the night.
Pure nostalgia.
It is
Again,
unbelievable.
isn't
Unbelievable. Stunner lands, hook of the leg, but nobody is there to count. The fans count and continue all the way up to 8, even though Owens stopped the pin at 5. Second ref is in, and we get the 1, 2, no. Jess rips his headset off as he was going to go and count the pin from ringside.
I'll be honest, I thought he was going to.
Yep. What's interesting about that, though, is Kevin Owens legitimately won this match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he hadn't cheated.
No.
Just saying.
Yep.
Just saying. Pop-up powerbomb. Pop-up powerbomb. No.
No, you can't
Powerbomb.
do it, can you?
I don't know what powerbomb is, but see what you're doing later. Pop-up powerbomb. There it is. Attempted, but Rhodes lands on his... Where's my applause? Lands on his feet and scores
So
with a
sorry.
super kick. This really is a throwback now, as the second ref is taken out by a springboard forearm that Owens manages to avoid. The Hebner household is just a sea of ejaculate at this point.
Oh,
It is like a river in that house.
that's gross.
Shoulder first into the ring post goes Cody.
Drank.
And now KO has retrieved a steel chair.
Sorry, I was reading my next notes, which made no sense.
I thought you were struggling with the word of sea of ejaculate, but carry on.
Well, still, yeah.
Or what's your note? Or you don't understand it? Or...
No, I don't understand it, so I'm
Okay.
just going to go past.
He returns to the ring but falls victim of a Cody cutter. Rhodes is fired up and he grabs KO, looks down at the chair, and drives him into it with a crossroads. Cheating.
Lands himself onto it as well.
Yeah, also it's the bad side up as well.
Yep.
This... Oh, no. No. The chair is thrown out of the ring. Charles Robinson is back up and from the floor because, fuck it. He stands and counts the 1, the 2, the 3. Cody Rhodes retains the WWE Championship by pinfall. Jess is not happy at the officiating or the outcome. It's good to be back, Jess. Is he going to be on the next one, do you think? I hope so.
I don't know.
Calling out every main event, that'd be good. I'd love that. Cody raises the title from a groggy referee and ascends the corner. Ventura says that Rhodes teamed up so well with that chair. Mockingly. The last few shots of the victorious champion accompany the credits as the show comes to a close.
Yep.
And Holly, I'm gutted. And I'll tell you why I'm gutted.
Yeah.
Because the body didn't call out Tyrell, Tyrese, Tyreek, Tyrone, Tiffany, all the T's
Yep.
who are watching home back in Minnesota. Yep. But that is the show over. Holly, what do you think of the match?
Oh, boring. There was some good points in it, but I've said
I disagree with the rating, by the way, of this.
So I have put score-wise for me. I don't think anyone would agree with me on the score, but I think it's because of my interest.
Okay.
So I've 2 out of 5.
Yeah, a bit low.
But also, like you mentioned, Cody didn't win without help from a chair.
Yep. Good tag team partner.
Or the refs faking being
Faking.
unconscious for like 5
you dropped
minutes.
the hard F-bomb.
Oh, I don't
Hard
care.
F-bomb.
I don't care. Pretending? Is that better?
Feigning.
Sleeping?
Silly. Carry on.
It just doesn't interest me.
Okay.
Oh, my voice is going to break again.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it. It's deep enough as it is.
Go on.
It just doesn't interest me.
Okay, fair. I think the score is a bit low.
Yeah.
I'd go 2.75, so I'm not miles off you, to be fair.
Okay.
But I'm closer to you than I am what Dave gave it.
Oh, God.
4.
Fuck off.
Seriously,
That
yeah.
is not a 4-star match.
It's not. I agree.
You compare that to the 4-1 we had earlier
I agree.
on. Absolutely not.
No, I don't think it's as low as what you gave it, but I don't score it nearly as high as 4. 2.75, reasonable.
First time I'm outraged with a Dave score. I think.
Yeah, because normally he goes
My mate
under
Dave.
rather than over.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, on
Maybe
this one I don't agree.
overexcited.
Don't agree with it at all. But that's up to his own opinion. So like I said, it's not the be all and end all, but it's a good barometer because a lot of people do refer to it.
Yep.
I think what we need to know, Holly, is what was your score for the overall show?
Okay. So I put some little bullet points, obviously. And I just said I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. It was an easy watch, which for me is vital. I did it in one sitting.
Yeah, you did.
Which again, crazy that I did that.
I did it in 2, which is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing was awful. Like nothing, I didn't score anything less than a 2. Which, again, sounds low, but I suppose halfway is 2.5. So
yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. It was nice and easy. Flow, good. I gave it 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Even though the last match was tres boring for me, it wasn't too long that if it was longer, it would have been a lower overall score, I think. But considering the length of the show, it was fun.
Well, I actually agree. Your score 6.5 is the
Ooh.
score I'd give it as well.
Lovely.
I think we agreed with the same highs and lows. Maybe yours were a little bit more drastic than mine, but overall, I think we were quite aligned in our way of thinking there. It was an easy watch. Had I been pressed, I could have done it in one sitting, but
Yeah.
doing it in 2 is still impressive for me because
Yes.
I've done some of the Saturday night main events in 3 sittings,
Yes.
and they're an hour, and this was like more than that for sure. So I think that is a testament to the quality of the show.
Yeah.
Nothing went too long, which actually was a real nice
It
benefit.
was.
Because I forgot, I'll be honest, that the Chelsea Green match was on the card.
Okay.
So after the world title match finished, I went, holy shit, there's like 40 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I thought, I don't want to see Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for 40 minutes.
No, thank you.
And by the time it actually came round, all the commercials were done. There was 15 minutes till the end of the
Nice.
show. So I was like, fine. So that gave me a
Yeah.
positive feeling about
It's
it.
a bit motivating, isn't
It
it?
is,
Go,
yeah.
It's only about 15 minutes left.
It is. And I'll be honest, like the actual... Right, because this is obviously the most modern WWE show we've covered.
Yeah.
So we've done AEW shows. So we did the one that we went to in Wembley, and we've done a Progress show.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of modern in-ring WWE, this is by far the most recent one we've done. Obviously, we couldn't get much more recent with
No.
it being last month. But the note-taking I didn't find to be a chore either, which is always...
Good.
I kind of factor that in
Yes.
to how I'm enjoying the show as well. And it was a breeze, to be quite honest with you. So... yeah, I think it was worthwhile. If anyone, hasn't seen it, it is on the WWE Vault YouTube channel. Certainly worth a watch. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't think you walk away disappointed from it.
Well, especially as it's so short when you fast forward through the adverts.
Yeah,
really.
exactly. And that's not necessarily... brevity is actually not a bad thing in this case. Because normally you think... growing up, I was like, give me as much wrestling as humanly
Yeah.
possible. But now sometimes... I'm just thinking about when we get in some of these Mania shows. I mean, the next one's a good example of it. But there are some... Oh, Holly, there's a WrestleMania show that goes 5 hours.
Oh, God.
And it's not a 2-dayer. It's a 1-day thing. Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, I think what will be happening with the WrestleMania episodes, because fortunately that is something that, as far as I'm aware, has fully transitioned onto Netflix, so that doesn't stop our marching through the Mania series. And we're about to hit WrestleMania 18, so as Holly alluded to earlier, that is what we're going for next. Holly's a good chunk of the way through the show.
I am.
Your boy hasn't started yet, so I need to get started on that soon, but that will be split into 2 parts. There will be another episode as well, and Holly's away, so I don't think there'll be a week where there's nothing for you guys, but obviously subject to change, because we are, we have things that we need to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. But hopefully, I'm not going to end the show, because I nearly went to end the show, because I want to know about your outfit of the night.
Well, Pat basically stole my thing anyway, didn't
He stole your gimmick, but I feel like there's other things that you might want to mention. What was the short
he?
list?
Do you wanna? I'll hold it far away so you can't see. But considering I thought it was going to be slim pickings, those are all the people.
Yeah, no, I think there was a
There's
good
quite a few
number.
in there.
I reckon I could probably get them as well.
So right, hang on, let me count them, because some people are in here twice.
Okay.
So I am counting them as 2 separate entities.
What? Okay.
Well, we'll see. 1, 2, 3. Don't need my fingers to count. Hang on.
Show
1,
off.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 people. Fucking hell,
Oh,
were
hang
there
on.
10 people?
Let me do the.
Yeah, okay, she's mocking The Undertaker, which I'm okay with. So 10. So Jesse,
Of course.
does Joe Testicle get a cheeky little look in with his... No, that's fine.
No, actually.
That's fine. Io Sky,
Yes.
Drew McIntyre,
Yes.
Sammy won't be on there. Do we give Liv Morgan a shout?
We don't.
Okay, fine. Rhea's not going to get it because she's not on the show long enough, I think, for you to merit doing that. Are we giving anyone who sat in the crowd, like Coco Beware?
Someone in the crowd is in my
Okay.
list.
Jimmy Hart won't be the guy.
Absolutely not.
The Macho Man guy in the crowd.
Yeah, I don't know his
For
name.
fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. Okay. What else was there? Oh, Chelsea Green.
Sure. Yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Not Kevin Owens. How many have I named? Do you know what? I'm going to stop there because I think I'll be
Okay.
pausing unnecessarily.
And I've done it obviously in order of when I see them on my
course.
screen.
Of course.
So first things first, we have Mr. Cody Rhodes in a delightfully coloured burgundy suit,
Okay.
fitted to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
That man's got money. Looks bloody great. Absolutely brilliant. Good colour for the eyes too, that.
Gunther in the suit.
Here's the next one. Even though it's a t-shirt under a blazer.
Fine.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Really looks good. Suits him. Jesse, obviously. Pat McAfee. He had the suit on with the hot pink detailing.
Okay.
He's got a good old country buckle belt on.
Okay.
I just thought it was a good look.
Well, he played for
I
Dallas,
quite
didn't
liked
he?
it, yeah, I quite liked it. I'm pretty sure if he's not got trainers on, I'm pretty sure he's got cowboy boots
Yeah,
on.
trainers on, I thought.
Drew's entire look, the leather kilt, the long coat, it's just great. Io Sky, obviously.
Oh, I've got a soft spot for Io, I'll be honest.
She looks great. Absolutely great. A Damian Priest.
Oh, I forgot he was on the show.
Yeah. I really like it. Even because he had a long leather jacket on when he first came out. Just really,
Leather jacket's fine.
I just think it's a good look, but leave him alone.
It's the wrestling gear I don't like. The jacket's fine.
I think they just need to...
Had I remembered he was
Oh,
there,
no.
I would have added him to the list.
Of course. Random man in the front row. Just
Random Savage.
give it a look.
Random Savage.
Very good. It is worth a look. Chelsea Green.
No.
What?
Do it properly.
No, I'm not doing it.
Please.
Absolutely not.
Please.
No. No, you can ask. No. Because it's not even just the little faces. I like the one side being like
The
a hot
schwan.
pant short,
Yeah.
and the other side being a legging.
Yep.
I like that. It's a
Yeah.
good
I
look.
thought I genuinely thought the outfit was good, yeah.
And then he features again because it was a good look. It's Cody. It's the red, white, the jacket, the matching tights,
Mm-hmm.
and I was exceptionally happy that he. The only reason I'm happy he's got the title belt is because then he doesn't wear the stupid weightlifting belt.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Why is that needed when you're walking out to a ring? But never
Ask
mind.
Hogan.
Yeah, again, silly.
Yeah, fair enough.
But hey ho.
So, winner of the night. I mean, how are we not picking Jess? But I don't know if he's going to get it, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, Cody's suit's going to be a strong play. Just because it will annoy me, I'll say Damian Priest.
No, Chelsea Green.
Yeah, that is to me. To be fair, that would be the one I'd pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I went against.
Great outfit.
Not better judgment because to me she was the overall winner anyway. But there was a lot of people looking good on.
Jess on a show.
Oh, I know.
Random guy in the audience dressed as Savage.
Oh, I know.
Chelsea Green comes out.
Really fucking pulled it out.
That's
of the
the
bag.
first time she's been on the scorecard as well. To be fair, it's the first show we've covered her in. So she's batting 100%.
Won a title belt and she's outfit of the night.
So Chelsea Green, performer of the. Actually, that's another thing we should do. We should put our individual performer of the night as well.
Oh, heck.
I'm just gonna let's do it now. I'll give you a little bit of time to think. So I'll talk out loud whilst I kind of land on who I thought had the best performance of the night, and I will say on an individual in-ring basis performance, it's between two people for me. It's Gunther or it's Io Sky. And I am going to say, because of the level of moves they did, I'm going to say Io Sky just over Gunther. But Gunther was...
Yeah, I would agree, actually.
Yeah.
Very much
they're
so.
They're the two standouts for me, I thought.
Yeah, for sure. I would actually agree with her.
Okay, cool. So there we go.
Like I said, that exhibition was, for me, is all about her.
I don't know why we never thought about doing that before, to be fair, but there you go. That's another thing. Pretty sure that brings us to the end of our incessant ramblings that somehow have gone beyond the show's length by 20 minutes. But there were a lot of segues, and I think they're worthwhile because not often do we get a chance to, unless it makes sense, to actually talk about modern WWE products, whereas this gave us that opportunity. So hopefully you've enjoyed what was, like I said, close to 2 hours of us prattling on about Saturday night's main event. And until the next one, take care.
Until next time, this has been a Win Twice Wrestling production. Peace out.